Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
85-degree afternoon in Miami, 64% humidity and a chance of thunderstorms as we send it down to the third member of our broadcast crew this afternoon, Jay Glazer. Jay.
How are you guys? Just because Nick Saban's just come here from college doesn't mean he doesn't have a very strong familiarity with John Fox. When Saban was up at Michigan State, he brought Fox in to give a coach's clinic. And then Fox told me yesterday that 2 years ago, he brought Saban and his staff into his complex in Carolina, exchange notes, go over certain things. But that also doesn't preclude some gamesmanship. Before this game, Fox's offensive phones are not working here. Not saying that Saban did it, but Fox is very, very upset about it. Back to you guys.
Yeah, you can see John Fox with that headset. That's an unfamiliar look right there.
Jason Baker, the punter, kicking off for Carolina. And Wes Welker retreats all the way back to the 2-yard line for the Dolphins. And he is brought down shy of the 15, a 13-yard return. Gus Frerotte, the only quarterback in NFL history to start for 6 different teams in a span of 8 years or less. The men protecting Frerotte, the left guard Geno James, a former Carolina Panther. We check out the backs and receivers. Brown, the rookie out of Auburn. Randy McMichael leads all NFL tight ends in receptions over the first 2 weeks. A 1st and 10 for the Dolphins from the 15. Play action. And Frerotte finds his man out at the 19-yard line as the catch is made out of the backfield by Ronnie Brown for a gain of 4. We talked in the open about the job the Panthers defense has done over the first 2 weeks, shutting down the New England Patriots last Sunday. Dan Morgan in the middle out of the University of Miami. Manning starting for the injured Ken Lucas. 2nd down and 6. From the 19, first carry of the day for Brown, crosses the 20, out to the 22-yard line. He gains 3 on the play, setting up a 3rd down and 3.
Well, Gus Frerotte has got the reins of this offense, and really it was a package deal. When they brought Scott Linehan in to be the offensive coordinator, Gus Frerotte played for Scott Linehan the last 3 years up in Minnesota with them. Very familiar with the terminology, with the language of this offense, very comfortable in it, and his job right now is to really not make any mistakes.
Booker and Chambers, the wideouts. Frerotte firing, 1st down and more out across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Chris Chambers, a 26-yard pass play.
Well, the best wide receiver here is Chris Chambers, and he's going to be working one-on-one outside with Gamble right here. And he gets a lot of time. You see a little bit of a bump there. But the reason why he was able to hang on that receiver that time was the protection, which has been the question mark here in Miami for a couple of years. Can the offensive line protect the quarterback? Got good protection that time.
2 tight ends for the Dolphins on 1st and 10 from the 47. Brown the lone back. Frerotte again hitting Chambers. Short gain, pickup of 2, setting up 2nd down and 8.
Well, they come out throwing, and in talking to the Carolina Panthers, they know how quickly Gus Frerotte wants to get rid of the football. They know that the protection, especially at the 2 tackle positions, is questionable, and so they're getting rid of the ball quickly. I would expect Carolina to challenge these receivers. Get up here, closer to the receiver, and challenge them here. Not let them get those quick slants.
Brown shifting into the backfield, 2nd down and 8, 3 receivers set. And this time Ferrotte's pass is behind Chambers. Frerotte had started the game 3 for 3.
Well, that was just a complete breakdown there. What Frerotte wanted to throw and what Chris Chambers was running was 2 different patterns. Now, this is the first time Gus Frerotte, looking at the graphic there, that has started 3 games in a row. Last time was 2002 in Cincinnati, one of those 6 teams that he's been on in the last 8 years. He got hurt after that and then sat down for a while, ended up in Minnesota the next year.
Started 2 games for the Vikings 2 years ago. Sammy Morris in the backfield, 3rd down and 8. Frerotte airing it out, and a flag. Chris Gamble, the coverage on Chris Chambers.
Well, it's clear they wanted to go after Chris Gamble in this game. I think the last 4 plays have all been to his side right there, which is a little bit odd considering.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
I was going to say that it's a little odd they're going after Chris Gamble, considering on the other side, Ricky Manning Jr. is making his first start today for the injured Ken Lucas.
19-yard penalty, giving the Dolphins a first down on the Carolina 32-yard line. Ronnie Brown. Gain of 3. Down to the Panthers' 29-yard line.
Okay, we just mentioned in the open that Ronnie Brown was the starter at Auburn, along with Cadillac Williams. Cadillac Williams, who's in Tampa, leads the National Football League in rushing, and averaging over 5 yards a carry, where Ronnie Brown is averaging only 2.7 early in the season. This guy missed training camp. There's a lot of things that Nick Saban likes about this guy that we haven't had a chance to really see yet.
Second down and 7. Able to break away from the first tackle, Brian Gilmore, and he's finally forced out of bounds at the 17-yard line after a gain of 12 for Gilmore, his first reception of the season.
Well, that's a great play by Brian Gilmore, their fastest player on the team right here, but this is a bad play by Chris Gamble, because that's what you're seeing in the NFL right now. Guys that want to come up and make big collisions, but there was no wrap up there. All he did was hit him, but he never really tackled him. You've got to wrap these guys up, even Gilmore, who has to jump around in the shower just to get wet. I mean, this is a skinny kid. Fast, though, too.
Listed at 6 feet, 193 pounds. He picked up the first down. From the 17, the handoff to Brown. Inside the 10, down to the 7.
Tell you, that's the best run I think I've seen by Ronnie Brown this year. What Nick Saban told us about Ronnie Brown and why he drafted him was he said that he was more durable than Cadillac Williams in college. He was a better receiver and a better blocker. This is what people want to see from Ronnie Brown, though. The ability to find a hole, make people miss, and run through tackles.
And Saban said in speaking with his defensive players at LSU, they would come off the field during the games against Auburn and tell Nick Saban it would take 8 or 9 guys to get Ronnie Brown to the ground.
Well, that's what they want to see, him being able to move the pile. The one thing he did say about Cadillac Williams, he said when the ball was in his hands at Auburn, he was magical with it. And that's, I think, what everybody's waiting for here in Miami is to see some of that magic from Ronnie Brown. When Nick Saban was at LSU, they had to play Auburn every single year. And it's only 2 games. It's just in its infancy, but this comparison between these 2 guys will go on for quite a while.
2nd and inches. Perrott looking end zone. He throws, and it's deflected away at the last instant by Marlon McCree. The pass intended for the tight end, Randy McMichael.
Which has become Gus Frerott's favorite target. Leads all tight ends in receptions in the league. Leads this team in receptions, and really got a mismatch there between Randy McMichael at about 6'5" and Marlon McCree. You see the height advantage right there. Gus just had to throw that ball up just a little bit higher. Great play by McCree to get it off at bounds.
Here's Brown on 3rd and inches. Cuts to the outside. Nears the goal line and is stopped just short. But he did pick up about 6.5 yards and a Dolphins first down.
And you see him breaking tackles right there. That's what they saw at Auburn. This ability right here. I mean, this is just to be a cutback, and he's going to have vision back here. Following Heath Evans into the hole, and like all young running backs, they outran most of the players in college, had bigger holes in college. They got to get used to sticking it in tight spots here like he does here.
First NFL touchdown for Ronnie Brown on 1st and goal. He takes it in for the score.
He's going to hold on to that football, too. He's been listening to all the criticism here in South Florida. He can't do this. They drafted the wrong guy. I mean, every game that he comes out here now, he's going to have a chance to prove all those people wrong. And believe me, all young players like to have that carrot dangling in front of them.
An impressive possession by the Dolphins. Brown 6 carries, 23 yards. Olindo Mare for the extra point. Dolphins take a 7-0 lead. They drove 85 yards in 11 plays. First touchdown as a pro for Ronnie Brown.
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
Welcome back to Miami. Dolphins with the early 7-0 lead. They drove 85 yards. And Ronnie Brown, who picked up the big first down on the prior play, took it in from 1 yard out. One of the keys during that drive, the pass interference penalty called on Chris Gamble.
Yeah, that was a 3rd and 8, Kenny. Kept that drive alive and picked up 19 yards, so the reason why they were able to go 85 yards.
Mare's kickoff taken at the goal line by Rod Smart. Smart across the 25, across the 30, out to the 32. As Jake Delhomme leads the Panthers offense out. We'll return to Miami in a moment. Jake Delhomme making his 34th consecutive start for the Carolina Panthers, who trail early 7-0. 5 minutes in, first quarter, here in Miami. From the 30, Stephen Davis up the middle. Gains just 2 on the Panthers' first play from scrimmage. A look at the Panthers' offensive line. The left guard, Mike Wall, signing as a free agent after spending 7 seasons as a Green Bay Packer. Stephen Davis played in only 2 games last season. Underwent right knee surgery. Steve Smith, the Panthers' top receiver over the first 2 weeks, with 12 catches. Panthers coming off the 27-17 victory over New England at home last Sunday. Magan shifting into the backfield, and he leads the way for Davis. Davis out to the 35-yard line. He gains 3, so a 3rd and 5 coming up for Carolina. The Dolphins play a 3-4 about 70% of the time. Big body in the middle, Keith Traylor. Zach Thomas, the 5-time Pro Bowler. Taylor has gone to 3. And the rookie, Travis Daniels, out of LSU, starting at left corner. 3 wide receivers set on 3rd down and 5. Panthers have to get to the 40 for a first down, and they do. Into Dolphins territory, finally dragged down at the 39-yard line is Steve Smith, a 26-yard pickup as we check in for the first time with James Brown in Los Angeles.
Great looking play there, Kenny, but for the second straight week, the Saints fumbled the opening kickoff, and for the first time this year, Dante Culpepper tosses a touchdown pass 24 yards to Travis Taylor. A lot of bad things being said about Dante. He's trying to rebound. 7-0 Vikings. Back to Kenny and Brian.
All right, thanks, JB. The long pass incomplete again, looking for Smith.
Well, Jake Delhomme is coming off a subpar performance last week. But one thing about Jake is he really, this is, in this day and age of fantasy football, he really does not care about statistics. He wants to win. He's been to a Super Bowl game. Wasn't happy when he lost it. He's from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. They've been hit by 2 hurricanes. They lost power in Breaux Bridge yesterday. His dad was just concerned where he was going to watch the football game. Not many things bother Jake Delhomme.
Now 2nd and 10 from the Dolphins 39. Davis up the middle. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 5. Yeah, Delhomme only 11 completions. Threw for just 154 yards against New England last week, but he was just worried about one thing, and that was the victory.
Yeah. Well, he got that against the defending Super Bowl champs. Of course, he'll take that in the Super Bowl over New England versus week 2. But he's playing behind a rebuilt offensive line, and the offensive coordinator, Dan Henning, said this is the best group he's had since he's been here.
Panthers spread the field, empty backfield. And now Deshaun Foster shifts into the backfield on 3rd down and 5. Delhomme looking for Ricky Kroll. Wanted a flag.
Well, they're working on the rookie out there, Travis Daniels, who's from LSU, played with Nick Saban there, won a national championship there, and they went after him. And it looked like there was a lot of contact there when the ball was in the air, but no flag. You can see, here's the matchup right here. All right, Ricky Kroll wants this ball. He goes for it. Well, you know, Ricky was able to allowed to go for the football.
Brian, John Casey, who hit 2 field goals last week from 50 or longer out to attempt a 52-yarder.
Got it up. Nice.
So Casey with his 3rd 50-yard field goal. There have been only 5 in the NFL this season of 50 or longer. Casey has 3 of the 5.
You know, in the National Football League, we're up to date with all technology. I mean, head coaches are wireless in this league. John is staying on the judges here and the officials because, see, he's got to wear a wire right now. His headphone's not working, and it's an unfair advantage. I mean, he can hear now, but he's got to have a wire. And, you know, he's saying, look, they're getting home field advantage here. A little home cooking going on. See, Nick Saban, he's got his all, he doesn't have somebody trailing him with wire right there. It's all contained.
He has 2 guys behind him.
He's got a bunch of guys trailing up and down the sidelines. They're going to get a workout today in this heat.
Baker's kickoff, taken at the goal line by Welker. And Welker brings it out to the 27-yard line. Well, for more on the coaches and communication, we check in with our guy on the sidelines, Jay Glazer. Jay?
Kenny, this has been a problem since the pregame. We said it to you earlier when the game began. John Fox came out and immediately tried to call over the officials before the game began, telling them that he's having a problem with the offensive headsets. They still have not been able to work out the communication. They're trying to do it on the sidelines here, but they are extremely upset with this situation.
As they should be.
From the 27, screen to Marty Booker. He stepped out of bounds at the 30. So Booker gains 3. Now, in the NFL, if one team loses all of their phone communications to the field from the press box, the other team must shut down. But it sounds as if Carolina has not lost everything. They've only lost the offensive communication.
Which is a big problem since their offensive coordinator is upstairs, Dan Henning. Calls things down to Mike McCoy, the quarterback coach. You know what it's like when your cell phone dies, Kenny? You got no reception. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, I can't hear you. Got to get to another cell.
There's the toss to Brown. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and a late flag. Referee today, Bill Vinovich.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's on the center, Seth McKinney. And there was a problem last week against the Jets. They could hardly run a series last week without some kind of penalty. And Gus Frerotte talked about this in a meeting on Friday. He said, you know, you can overcome some penalties. You can't overcome all of them. Even the best offenses can't. And they continue to hurt themselves offensively with penalties.
Dolphins committed 21 penalties over the first 2 games, 5th most in the league. Second down and 17. Frerotte off his back foot. Finds Brown out of the backfield. And he gains a couple out to the 22. Julius Peppers made the tackle. It will be a 3rd down and long for the Dolphins.
I think one of the things facing Gus Frerotte here in this offense is his signature has always been he's been a good deep ball thrower. He's got a big arm. He's played behind a good offensive line in Minnesota. He doesn't have that luxury here, so you see him getting rid of the ball quickly right now, throwing screens, pitches, short stops, trying to get in a rhythm without really getting the ball down the field so far.
3 receivers set, 3rd down and 16. Frerotte out of the shotgun. Sammy Morris. And Morris picks up the 1st down. Out to the 40-yard line. He needed 15. He gained 18.
Well, you know what? If you don't feel like you can throw the ball down the field, the next best thing is to throw it underneath and hope the guy, in this case Sammy Morris, can evade some tackles, break a tackle, and pick up the 1st down. Some bad tackling right there by Ricky Manning Jr. The rookie Thomas Davis out of Georgia had a chance at him.
So a new set of downs for the Dolphins from their own 39. Farad slipped. And now airing it out. And he just overthrows his intended receiver, Marty Booker.
Well, I tell you, he stumbled coming out. This Gus Frerotte stumbled coming out of this play-action pass. He does a great job of so much for that play action, huh? You just try to stay on your feet. But that's what they would love to do. They'd love to be able to sucker the Panthers in, get them to bite on play action and go over the top like that. You only get maybe 3, 4, 5 opportunities in a whole game. You want to be able to connect on 1 or 2 of them.
Now 2nd and 10 from the 39. Penalty marker as Brown takes it out to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 6.
This is going to be against the Carolina Panthers. You give them a free 5 yards here.
Offsides. Defense number 96. 5-yard penalty. Beat 2nd down.
That's Al Wallace. Grew up locally in Delray Beach.
He was a principal there. He was out of football for a year when he got released by the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a principal there. He said, every day I put my pads on now. I don't have to go to that school and try to control those kids.
Would you cut class if Al Wallace was your principal?
No. But he said, you know what? They didn't care. They were like, you got cut from football.
Now 2nd and 5. Farad to the outside. And he finds his man, Chris Chambers, for a gain of 7. And another Dolphins first down in Carolina territory.
Well, the short passing game is working. And again, really not being challenged by Chris Gamble out there. I think that a lot of that is the respect that they have for the speed of Chris Chambers. But they came with pressure that time. Morgan just a little late getting there. That's how quickly Farad's getting the ball out. Got the fans blowing today. No way to prepare for this kind of heat and humidity.
From the Carolina 49, here's Brown, who has the Dolphins touchdown. Remember, the Panthers are without 2 key starters on defense today. Linebacker Will Witherspoon and their left cornerback Ken Lucas, who is one of the biggest free agent signings in all of football during the offseason.
And led their team in tackles last week. Had 10 tackles last week. Ricky Manning, normally their third cornerback, gets the start at Ken Lucas' position. Vinny Churku in for Will Witherspoon, who picked off Tom Brady last week. And he started 4 games for the Panthers last year when Dan Morgan was banged up.
Witherspoon out with a knee injury. Lucas with a bad shoulder. Short drop on 2nd and 10, and the slant is dropped by Chambers.
Watch this route by Chris Chambers. I mean, he's just trying to lull Ricky Manning to sleep. He really comes off kind of slow. Boom. Then he tries to burst by him. Try to lull Ricky Manning right there to sleep. And Gus Frerotte, who's been very accurate on the short throws, throws another really good football. The Panthers had a hard time getting teams off the field on 3rd down in that loss to the Saints. Did much better last week against New England. So far today, not very good on 3rd down.
Frerotte 8 of 12, 72 yards. Dolphins have to get to the 40 for a first down. They'll be forced to punt.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to their leading receiver. Randy McMichael was going to be a tight end screen. And the weak side linebacker we just talked about, Vinny Churku, read it perfectly. He was in his book this week, read the scouting report, and jumped that route. Really no place for Gus Frerotte to go with that football.
McMichael without a catch so far today. Donnie Jones, who punted for Nick Saban at LSU. From his own 40. Steve Smith in single safety. He calls for a fair catch at the 18-yard line. So the Panthers send the offense back out following the 31-yard punt by Jones.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the new Sprint, the official telecommunications service sponsor of the NFL. By Chase, now you can double rewards on everyday purchases. Love the double from Chase. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Hummer, check out the new H3, Hummer like nothing else.
It's the new defensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins, Will Muschamp, who was with Nick Saban at LSU, installing his defense. Very intricate. They play a 4-3, a 3-4, very multiple up front. A lot of learning still going on.
Panthers starting from their own 18-yard line as Delhomme hands it off. Stephen Davis now to the 21-yard line, gain of 3. Zach Thomas made the tackle. It will be 2nd down and 7.
Well, Zach Thomas takes the signals from Will Muschamp, and Zach is playing for his 3rd head coach here in his tenure, and he's still learning this defense. In fact, he puts all the defensive plays on a script on his belt. He doesn't believe in putting it around his forearms. He wants his forearms to be able to go shiver running backs and get underneath the fullback, go make tackles. So he puts it on his belt instead.
Second down and 7. It's Davis again. Out to the 24-yard line. Jay, do you wear your reports on your belt?
No, I just memorize mine, even though I have ADD. Guys, the reason why Zach has that on, it's already kicked in with the Nick Saban paranoia. Zach said we think people are already stealing our signals from last game film, so we've changed up defensive signals, and when they call them in, I got them on my belt, and I can start barking out the new signals. Back to you.
Next thing you know, you're going to get X-ray glasses. Going to be stealing those signals. Never really understood how you steal a signal and you're able to use it to your advantage in 8 seconds.
Empty backfield for the Panthers. 3rd down and 4. Delhomme off his back foot, and Zach Thomas is right there to break up the pass intended for the tight end, Chris Mangum.
Well, Jake just has to be more accurate with the throw because he had Sideman open. He had Zach Thomas on his back, and he just didn't put it on the hands right there. Good to see the coverage of Zach Thomas. Up at the line of scrimmage, he drops. See, he threw it behind him there. That was actually Chris Mangum right there. So, yeah, covering the tight end, good coverage, but a better throw would have beaten.
Baker punting from his own 15-yard line. Fair catch called for at the 37 by Welker. So good field position for the Dolphins following the 39-yard punt by Baker. Hello, Julius.
That's an unfamiliar sight for the Carolina Panthers, seeing Julius Peppers sitting down, really away from the defense by himself with the punters and the kickers. And they got Al Wallace in there for him right now. Don't know if anything's wrong. Don't know if the heat's gotten to him or something happened early in this game, but we'll stay on top of it.
Al Wallace in the game replacing Julius Peppers. Under 2 minutes remaining, first quarter. Dolphins lead 7-3. Chambers in motion. From the 37, the handoff to Brown, and he is forced back. Dan Morgan coming from the middle linebacker position to make the tackle. He has 15 members of his family, friends on hand here today. They're sitting in Dan Marino's luxury box.
Well, his father was Dan Marino's bodyguard, his limo driver for a long time here. Grew up a Dolphin fan, saw a lot of games right here in this stadium, and always likes to come back. The second time that he's come back here as a Panther to play on this field.
2nd down and 12 after the loss of 2 on 1st down, and the pass intended for Booker is broken up, nearly intercepted. Mike Minter and Ricky Manning Jr. on the coverage.
And Mike Minter would love to have another chance at this ball because he played it perfectly coming from deep center field. Working on Ricky Manning right here. Marty Booker, a real big body right there. You see Minter coming over. That's the old cover 2 right there, Kenny. That's the cornerback playing underneath and the safety coming over the top. There's a dead spot on that part of the field they try to drop that ball into. Mike Minter played it perfectly.
Now 3rd down and 12. Dolphins have to get to the 47 for a first down. Perrott out of the shotgun. Over the top, incomplete. He was looking for Wes Welker.
That was a bad series. Bad series for the Dolphins. Didn't run the ball there that time. Tried to get the ball down the field. Really, that short passing game was very effective. And that opening drive where they scored on that 11-play, 85-yard drive. This is a guy that I would not punt to. I would hang this ball out. I would kick it to the sideline, but I would not give Steve Smith an opportunity to return.
He has 4 career touchdowns on punt returns.
See how high he's kicking this one?
Yeah, terrific hang time, and again a fair catch. It's Smith. Bobble the football, and the Dolphins have recovered.
Well, maybe that's why you do punt to him. He did a bad job of fielding that ball and put his hands over his head rather than trying the basket catch. And I think maybe the sunshine out there might have affected him, hanging that ball up that high. Watch him. Fair catch. Now watch him. See that? Punters don't catch the ball with their hands over their head like that. They generally wait for it to come into their body.
And it was recovered by a former Carolina Panther, Travaris Tillman.
Yeah.
One of 6 former Panthers on this Dolphins roster.
Backup defensive back in the Super Bowl team 2 years ago. Empty backfield here for the Panthers this time as they put everybody out.
Penalty markers on first down.
Ball start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Second penalty today called on the Dolphins center, Seth McKinney.
That's Steve Smith telling John Fox that he lost that ball in the sun, should have shielded his hands a little bit more, and then brought him back down to catch that football. I think that played a part in it.
Penalty knocks the Dolphins back 5 yards from the 21. Here's Brown. And Ronnie Brown able to gain 3 down to the 18-yard line. Dan Morgan made the tackle as time winds down in this first quarter.
I think I like what I see from Ronnie Brown in this game right now. I mean, that time he carried the pile, you know, just carrying defenders on his back. I mean, this is a guy with fresh legs. I met him at the draft this year. He's a fun kid to be around. He was excited about coming to Miami right here. I just think missing those 3.5 weeks of training camp really set him back.
Second down and 12. Play action. Farad stepping up. Now he throws to the end zone for McMichael. Touchdown!
What a great throw and catch against good coverage. And great hands by Randy McMichael. And he said he's been begging for years here in Miami for the Dolphins to move him around like they do with Tony Gonzalez, like they do with Antonio Gates, and they do it here. They put him in motion. They can't bang him off the line of scrimmage. Nobody touches him. Well, I tell you, that was a great catch.
Mare adds the extra point. Randy McMichael with a touchdown reception in each of the first 3 games for the Dolphins this season as Miami capitalizes on the Carolina turnover.
Well, I think they also capitalize on the fact that Will Witherspoon isn't in this game. Will Witherspoon is their best coverage linebacker. He's down today. So Chris Draft actually covered McMichael. And he's not as good as Randy McMichael. He's not as good as Will Witherspoon. I asked Randy McMichael if Nick Saban ever recruited him. You know, out of Georgia when he was at LSU, he goes, no, nobody recruited me, only Georgia. That's the only team that came after me. You see him in motion here. They want to move him around so that you can't really know where he's going to be at the snap. Nobody gets their hands on him. Now watch 52 come to your screen here. See, that's Chris Draft right there. He never looks for the football.
And Randy also told us Shannon Sharp is the guy that he watched as a youngster, who he likes to emulate on the football field.
Not a bad guy. Not a bad guy to emulate. Of course, Gus Frerotte played with Shannon Sharp in Denver. He said he was the best tight end he ever saw. But certainly Randy, who led all tight ends coming into today's action in reception, continues his ways.
Mare's kickoff taken at the 5 by Rod Smart. And Smart with an 18-yard return out to the 23 with 4 seconds remaining in quarter number 1 here in Miami. 1 week from today on Fox, many of you will see the Lions and the Bucks, or the Seahawks and the Redskins, and then the late game, the Falcons hosting the Vikings. It all gets underway with the pregame show at noon Eastern right here on Fox.
I tell you, impressive here offense by the Dolphins, and this defense that Nick Saban has on the field has not been used in a couple of years to playing with the lead here at home.
Empty backfield. Panthers start from their own 23-yard line. And the pass is caught by Steve Smith, and he picks up a first down, a 17-yard gain out to the 40, and that will do it for the first quarter here in Miami. Well, the Panthers held the defending Super Bowl champs to 17 points last week. Dolphins have put up 14 in the first quarter. Good start for the Miami Dolphins today. Looking to bounce back from their loss to the Jets last Sunday. As we get set for quarter number 2, Dolphins lead the Panthers 14-3.
Well, you know, Jake Delhomme knows that the guy that they've got to protect against is Jason Taylor right there in the picture. He's lining up and end this play. They're going to start putting that football in the air. They've got to know where 99 is at all times. You've got to put 2 guys on him. He's too good of a pass rusher.
Delhomme just 2 of 5 in the first quarter. Both receptions going to Steve Smith, and Taylor jumps. Yeah. Jason Taylor off sides 3 times over the first 2 weeks, and it looks like he was a bit too anxious on this play.
And you know what? He could have taken a shot at Jake. They threw the flag, and he held up on him. Pretty good sportsmanship right there. Sometimes guys take a free shot at the quarterback like that. He didn't do that, but he's just been undisciplined trying to get a jump.
15 minutes. Prior to the snap, offsides, defense number 96, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, that was 99. Jason Taylor coming into your picture. He goes from an outside linebacker here to a pass rushing end, trying to anticipate the snap. And you know, if I'm Carolina and I know that this guy now has jumped 4 times in 3 games, I'm holding the count. I'm going on 2s and 3s and trying to get him to come off the line of scrimmage like that. Get a free 5 yards.
Now 1st and 5 from the 45. Davis spins right into the arms of Jason Taylor. Gains just 1. As we said it, west once again for a game break with James Brown. JB.
All right, Kenny, and everyone is trying to see how Michael Vick goes east and west, moving nicely there, hooking up with Dwayne Blakely. 9-yard strike, first touchdown reception of the career for Blakely. 7-6 Atlanta over at Buffalo. That in the second. Back to Kenny Albert.
Well, it's good to see Mike Vick back on the field there for the Falcons. We saw him last week at the end of the game, pull up with that hamstring. Question marks all week about it.
Falcons lost in Seattle last week. Here's the toss to Smith, who lined up in the backfield, and he crosses midfield and picks up a Panthers first down, a gain of 6.
Well, you know, Steve Smith fumbled that punt, and so that's weighing heavily on Steve. So he knows the rest of today, he's got to get that play back. He's got to make up for that fumble, and so get him the ball any way he can. This is a guy that is highly, highly competitive. He's wired like, you know, he does not want to lose. He wants to be a part of a losing team. Missed last year with that broken leg of his. He's coming back and wants to show you that he's 100% in full speed.
He picked up the first down, so the Panthers now in Dolphins territory from the 48.
There he is.
Alone to the outside, and the catch is made by Smith. Wrapped up by the rookie Travis Daniels after a gain of 6 more.
Remember the wide receivers in Washington when Joe Gibbs were there? You know, Gary Clark and Art Monk and all those guys.
The Dan Henning,
yeah, the fun bunch. Well, Steve Smith is like one of those fun bunch guys. He has a lot of fun playing his game. But, you know, he's an explosive guy. Last week he wasn't in there on a goal line play, and he bounced his helmet from here to eternity. You know, but he wants the ball in his hands, and you're good to feed him. The more you feed him, the more involved he is, the bigger the plays you make.
2nd and 4 play action. Delhomme could not find anyone downfield. Down he goes. Kevin Carter in his first season as a Dolphin, the 11-year veteran, with his 2nd sack of the season.
Jake just held this ball too long. Just waiting and waiting and waiting. You're going to see Kerry Colbert down here working on the outside against the rookie Travis Daniels. He's locked up. Nowhere to go right there. Here's Steve Smith at the bottom. Nice job by Sam Madison running him out to the sidelines. Nowhere to go with this football. So Kevin Carter will gladly be the recipient.
A loss of 7 on the play. 3rd down and 11. Panthers have to get to the 37 for a first down. Again, play action. Over the top, incomplete. Intended for Smith. He was covered by Daniels.
Well, the pass rush made Jake just a little jumpy there. Nowhere to go down the field because the coverage was good. Trying to get the ball to the playmaker underneath. Really just threw the ball too low.
Wes Welker back deep for the Dolphins, awaiting the punt from Jason Baker from his own 40. Fair catch called for by Welker back at the 7. So the Dolphins pinned deep in their own territory following the 41-yard punt.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Nissan, who reminds you to shift the way you move through the world. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. By Vcast from Verizon Wireless, it's broadband quality video on your phone. And by Subway, experience the new great taste of a fresh toasted chicken Parmesan sub today. Subway, eat fresh.
Jason Taylor just getting his left hand looked at there on the sidelines. Been a change on the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. Stocker McDougal gets the call right now at right tackle for Vernon Carey, and he'll be going up against Julius Peppers over the top of him right here.
Peppers back in the game, and it looks like Peppers went too soon.
Ball start. Offense, number 66. After this is the goal, still first down.
Another penalty from that offensive line. You know, Stocker McDougal went in for Vernon Carey. They think that McDougal, who was the starter in training camp, and then at the end, they decided to put Damian McIntosh at left tackle, Vernon Carey at right. They think McDougal has the chance to be the starter. They want to give him that chance. This is a reward to get him back out on the field to see if he can regain that spot because they think his talent is better.
That penalty called on the right guard. Rex had not more markers as Brown takes it out to the 10-yard line. Gain of 7.
Offside. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's the 12-year veteran, Brenson Buckner.
What's sloppy down there? And I don't know if it's because they've got the baseball diamond out there. There's only 2 stadiums left in the National Football League, out there in Oakland and here in Miami, where the baseball team plays on the same stadium. And I remember playing on these kind of days. Nobody wants to play in us. It's gravel, it's dirt, it's hard on the feet, it's hard on the skin right there. Everybody's got their elbows protected.
Barak pump fakes again, and the pass incomplete, a bit behind the intended receiver, Ronnie Brown. Some of the players we talked to compared that infield dirt to concrete.
Yeah, well, that's why guys like Peppers got their elbows protected right there to save the scrapes. Nothing worse than trying to go to sleep at night and your elbows all scraped up or sticking to the sheets. It's a nice shot by Randy McMichael. I mean, that's excellent technique, actually, double teaming Peppers. You see that jab that McMichael just did right there? I just gave you a shiver, but he just keeps them off balance there like that.
Yeah, like the one I just felt?
Yeah, right. You did a good job of keeping your balance there.
Second down and 9, inside handoff. Ronnie Brown, and another flag comes in from the defensive secondary. Busy day so far for Bill Vinovich and his crew.
I just want to get off that infield. I'm telling you, I've lost my contact in there before. You get dirt in your mouth. You're spitting out sand.
Personal foul. Illegal crackback. Offense, number 83. Penalties decline. Third down.
That's on Wes Welker.
Yeah, they're trying to eliminate a lot of those crackbacks. Welker right here in the slot comes down. And, oh, yeah. See, he's in that tackle box right there and took a shot below the knees of Ricky Manning. They're trying to eliminate those kind of plays because those are the kind of plays you injure somebody on.
Third down and 7. Farad rolling to his right. Lobs it out of bounds. Intended receiver Chris Chambers. And the Dolphins will punt it away.
Well, you know, their protection first there. They kept McMichael, his favorite receiver, in to block right there to help out Stocker McDougal against Peppers. Then there's really nowhere to go with the ball. And the last thing that Farad wants to do is turn the ball over in his end zone. You know what? So we'll put the punter back out there. Defense is playing good right now. That's Chris Gamble back there. Last week returned one over 70 yards against the Patriots and set up a score for him.
Remember the problem Smith had earlier.
Yeah.
Unable to handle a punt. Only turnover of the game led to a Dolphins touchdown. Gamble lets it bounce.
That's not smart.
Brian Gilmore getting downfield a bit too quickly.
Let that thing bounce.
Good field position for Jake Delhomme and the Carolina Panthers, who trail the Miami Dolphins 14-3. Panthers, following the punt, will start from their own 44-yard line.
Now that's the big man in the middle, Keith Traylor. He's their nose tackle. You're going to run a 3-4 defense. You're going to have some wide body in the middle to eat some blockers up.
The toss for Stephen Davis on first down. As Davis loses the football.
Looks like Brad Hoover got it, though. Looks like the fullback recovered it alertly. Dolphins have been doing a good job of knocking the ball out. That's their 6th forced fumble of the year. They've only recovered one. Here's Traylor in the middle, kind of clogging some things up. Vonnie Holiday and Zach Thomas in on the tackle. Yeah, that's Zach Thomas sticking that bucket of his right on the football, knocking it loose. Bucket meaning the helmet there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Davis had gained about 4 yards, and then they lost 4 on the fumble. So a 2nd and 10. Delhomme to Ricky Prohl. What a catch by the 16-year veteran at the Dolphins' 37-yard line. An 18-yard pickup from Delhomme to Prohl.
Well, it's amazing because this guy has well over 600 catches in this league. All he does at age 37 is go up and make great catches. And Jake has a ton of confidence in him. Really, I don't think this team has ever overcome the free agent loss of Muhsin Muhammad. Ricky Prohl has been the guy that has picked up the slack there.
645th catch of his career. He broke in 1990 with the Cardinals. On the 37, Delhomme able to get rid of it. There's a flag, pass intended for Kerry Colbert.
Got a couple of 16-year veteran out there on the field right now. Junior Seau and Ricky Prohl both came into the league together.
Holding. Defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's on Sam Madison. Junior Seau, of course, broke in with the Chargers, spent 13 years in San Diego. His first head coach in the NFL was Dan Henning, the Carolina Panthers offensive coordinator.
Well, look at this, guys. I mean, these guys are still going at a remarkable pace. What's in their diet, what's in the water, all that kind of stuff. I tell you, and both of them, tremendous focus before the game. Enjoying, when you get to that age, you enjoy every single game that you get a chance to play.
And Seau has played for 9 head coaches, Prohl for 7. First carry of the day for Deshaun Foster. Down to the 29-yard line of the Dolphins. So the Panthers on the move. We check in once again with our veteran, James Brown.
All right, Kenny, and folks want to know how Michael Vick is moving. Pretty well, thank you very much. Here, hooking up with Michael Jenkins. 2nd touchdown toss of the day for Vick. Atlanta is 11-1 when Michael Vick throws 2 touchdowns. What about Brian Greasy? Looking impressive as well. 2nd touchdown toss of the day and a half. That to Joey Galloway. 14-6 Bucks over Green Bay. Back to Kenny and Brian.
The Greasies have never lost to Green Bay. Bob 3-0, Brian 1-0.
That's a good stat over a long period of time there, Ken.
Deshaun Foster bouncing it to the outside.
Look at Seau. Chase that down.
Couple of penalty markers.
Seau bounced right in there with Deshaun Foster. He bounced off, and then he just started running downhill. Was able to make that tackle. Watch him right here. Yeah, he's playing at that outside linebacker position. He's already switched positions this year from weak side to strong side.
Holding. Offense, number 89. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Amazing at age 37, chasing down a guy like Deshaun Foster, 24. I mean, that just doesn't happen to normal people.
Are you saying Junior is abnormal?
No, he's got unusual genetics. That code, whatever he has, the guy just keeps going. He came back from a serious injury a year ago, always in condition. You watch Junior out here today. He'll play like that in the fourth quarter in this heat, and we're going to see other guys wilt in this heat here today. A lot of penalties here in the first half of this game, slowing it down offensively for both teams.
That last one called on Panthers wideout Steve Smith. 85 degrees and humid.
You know what? If you're trying to drink water during the game to keep your fluids in you, it's too late. You got to get them in you all week long, especially the last 2 days, filling up the radiator.
You know from experience.
Oh, yeah.
Second down and 17 off the play fake. Below to Deshaun Foster. Has some running room. Inside the 25, has a first down and more. And he is finally wrestled out of bounds by Bucky Jones after a pickup of 33 yards.
Hey, that play got made. Nobody, I don't think, saw this on TV, but Ricky Prohl threw a little wing block on Zach Thomas, knocked him off his path, and allowed Deshaun Foster to get there. There's Prohl there. Watch him come into the middle of the field here. Watch this little block right there. See that block right there on Thomas? Zach Thomas had a bead that time on Deshaun Foster. That little block knocked him off. Good call against the hard-charging Jason Taylor.
3 wide receivers set, first and goal from the 7. DeLone to the outside. Stephen Davis forced out of bounds inside the 3-yard line.
Now, Stephen Davis at this part of the field, he was my pick today for the fantasy league pick. You know, he's got 4 one-yard touchdown runs this year. And I think something like 29 of his 57 career touchdowns have been from 3 yards or less. And here they are right now, inside the 3.
He had 3 one-yard touchdown runs in last week's game against New England. Line of scrimmage is the 2. Second and goal.
In a hurry to get this off. It's going to be too late. Stephen Davis tried to call a timeout.
Couple of penalty flags as DeLone was spun around, taken down by Bucky Jones.
Jake is screaming like, look, we got a timeout, didn't we? And I don't think they gave it to him. Stephen Davis saw that there was only 1 second left on the clock, and he tried to get the timeout before the play clock expired.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 24.
Wow.
By rule, the penalty has to get back to the line of scrimmage. Automatic. First down.
So it seems like the Panthers were not awarded the timeout.
They were not given the timeout. And if I was Nick Saban, I was like, wait, they got a timeout, didn't they? This shouldn't be called.
Now, we also saw John Fox patting Stephen Davis on the shoulder as if to say, hey, good awareness, thanks for calling the timeout.
Yeah. All that does is get the ball a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage for Stephen Davis.
So all Bucky Jones had to do was take the loam down without grabbing the face mask, and he would have been awarded the sack.
Yeah.
So a first and goal following the penalty. Davis falling backwards towards the goal line, and he stopped just shy.
Last week, he was stopped shy. They gave him the touchdown. Ball came out. A lot of these guys now are stretching that ball out for the goal line. And you got to be careful because everybody's going to tackle the football these days. You see a lot of fumbles down here at this part of the field in games now.
Todd Fordham has checked in as a third tight end.
Backup offensive tackle over there at the right tight end spot, trying to get a little bit more beef at the line of scrimmage.
Second and goal from the 1. Mangum shifting. Here's Davis. He hesitated, tries to reach across, and he's stopped again.
You know, Kenny, this Miami Dolphin defense has had a goal line stand in each of the first 2 games. Against Denver they stopped. They kept the Broncos out. They did it last week against the Jets, and here they got good penetration. Whoever gets lower wins. See, Stephen Davis never got back to the line of scrimmage there. Legs kept going. Guys underneath him there. This is all a game of leverage, and the people in the end zone, they feel a goal line stand coming on.
Now 3rd and goal. Play action. Delhomme looking end zone. Wow. And it is caught for the touchdown by Steve Smith.
Wow, what a throw. What a throw by Jake. Everybody was covered on the play, including Smith, but the better throw beat him. Dolphins were ready for the play action, too. Steve Smith doesn't really fool anybody here. He gets covered.
For Smith, his 2nd touchdown reception of the season, and for Jake Delhomme, his 50th career touchdown pass as a Carolina Panther.
They went after the former Panther, Reggie Howard, cornerback now for the Dolphins.
John Casey adding the extra point. So the Carolina Panthers cut the Dolphins' lead to 4. Delhomme to Smith for the touchdown.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by State Farm. Great service, great rates. That's why 40 million drivers trust State Farm.
Back in Miami, 14-10 Dolphins. We spoke earlier about some of the problems with the headsets on both sidelines. And for more, we send it down to Jay.
Kenny, this one I've never seen before. On that penalty by Bucky Jones, Nick Saban took off his headset, smashed it on the ground, it broke in half, and then realized, oh, wait a minute, I need that thing. Well, it was cut in half, it was broken in half, so he picked up one half, cupped it to his ear, and actually held it up there like it was a cell phone for the rest of that drive.
So that's the spare. Oh, here it is. Well, that one was his own doing, and it was a costly mistake by Bucky Jones because it got the first down for. That's good. Nice move by Wes Welker there. Catching that ball out of bounds ensures that the ball goes out to the 40-yard line. Nice special teams play by Welker.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team. By rule, the ball is placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
That's terrific awareness by Welker.
If you're out of bounds when you field the ball inbounds, it's like the ball is out of bounds. Excellent play by Welker.
Dolphins led 14-3 after one. They have only 2 yards of offense in this second quarter. It's now 14-10. Farad and the Dolphins starting from the 40. The end around to Wes Welker. You think he was rewarded for his awareness on the stepping out of bounds on the kickoff moments ago?
Well, yeah, of course. And then I think he should go and thank Chris Chambers for a crushing block on the outside. Been a big part of the Dolphin offense, though, Kenny, has been that reverse. Chambers had a big reverse against Denver a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, great block, allowing Welker to get to that corner.
Welker gained 4, now second down and 6 from the 44. Farad with time, and it's incomplete. Gus Farad started the game, Brian, 7 for 9. He's now 2 for his last 10.
But I think they got away from really the short passing game that they came out with. I mean, it was really good, and I think that Carolina now has stepped up the pressure. They were getting a lot of easy completions to the wide receivers, and now you look out there, Chris Gamble, Dante Wesley, Ricky Manning, they're coming close to those receivers, not allowing them to get the quick completion.
3rd down and 6. Dolphins have to get to midfield to move the chains. Farad out of the shotgun. And a quick pass, and it's caught for the first down. And some more by Marty Booker. Finally brought down by Marlon McCree after a gain of 12.
Well, you know, Dante Wesley was up there in tight coverage right here. See, but he blitzed. So it's an excellent play by Gus Farad to beat the blitz right there. Nice job by Marty Booker to recognize the blitz coming off the corner, to cut his pattern short. Farad to see it and to recognize it and get the ball out there.
So a first down in Panthers territory from the 43, Ronnie Brown. 1. Setting up 2nd down and 9.
The teams have had a hard time running, and one constant in the middle of that Panther line has been Brunston Buckley. They lost Chris Jenkins, the first week of the season for the 2nd year in a row. So they're filling that other tackle with Kendall Moorhead, Jordan Karstens, a couple of different guys. They're all playing well, but that guy is steady as a rock inside.
2nd and 9 from the 42. Off the play fake. Farrat airing it out. Oh, what a spectacular catch! It's made by Chambers at the 1.
Woo. Wow, what a catch. Might have pushed off a little bit up at the end of it, but take nothing away from the catch. And what a throw by Farrat. Working on Gamble a little bit here today, a little double move. Oh, he got by Gamble. It's a one-handed catch by Chambers. I don't know why. It's not even a touchdown, though. Watch where he comes down. All right. Elbow. Dude, I don't know if that's worth reviewing for a touchdown, Kenny, huh? Nobody's touching him. Nobody's touching him there when he came down. So he shouldn't be down when he came down.
30-second timeout.
Dolphins have called timeout. Perhaps their coaches up in the box will take a look at it.
Well, you see the handkerchief there? That's not to wipe the sweat off of Nick Saban's brow. That's to have these guys take another look at this. See now, Gamble's off him. He's not touching him. So if you're not touched, the receiver can get up, unlike college, can get up and run with the ball, score, whatever you want to do.
The fans and the players on the Dolphins sidelines reacting to the replays up on the Jumbotron screen here at Dolphin Stadium.
But see, now here's the call. The call was that he's down. So by replay here and by challenge, they have to show conclusive evidence.
Ruling on the field of the spot.
What Bill Vinovich has to do is to see conclusive evidence that he wasn't touched by any part of Gamble when he was on the ground.
And that is a reviewable play, whether or not Chambers broke the plane of the goal line before he was officially down.
Well, Bill Vinovich is all the way at the other end of the field taking a look at the replays that we just showed you on television. I think that he had to go 100 yards to go to the replay booth. On a hot day, you should at least get a cold glass of water, a cup of Gatorade. But here's the look. I don't think that Gamble touches him as he crosses the goal line. If that's the case, he was never down there. What a catch, though. One-handed grab, pulls it into the body, cradles it, definitely has possession of it. Ball was always possessed. They ruled it a catch.
It will either be a touchdown or first and goal on the 1.
At the 1.
After reviewing the play, there was no contact by the receiver. Touchdown. Big play for the Miami Dolphins. They got the call right. Tell you, heck of a throw by Gus Farrat. Pressured by Julius Peppers. And I guess the only problem for Chambers is he had to wait a long time for that celebration from his team to make the thing official.
He had some time to plan his celebration.
No question that the Miami Dolphins have offensive talent. Chambers, McMichaels, Booker, Welker. Gus Farrat knows that he's got a lot of weapons to get the ball to.
First touchdown of the season for Chambers. Second touchdown throw of the first half for Gus Farrat. Murray adding the extra point. So the Miami Dolphins, with 3:39 remaining in the second quarter here at home, now have a 21-10 lead over the Carolina Panthers. Chris Chambers reaching the end zone. 42-yard touchdown pass by Farrat. Some more trouble on special teams for the Panthers as Rod Smart was unable to take the kickoff out of the end zone.
Well, the second time today, a returner for Carolina tried to catch the ball over his head. I mean, that's just a hard catch. That far away, the ball spinning like that. You catch that ball with your body.
Steve Smith off the punt earlier The only turnover, and that led to a Dolphins touchdown. It was a unique look.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're looking through the fan, it doesn't look cool. I think on the other side, Damian McIntosh is enjoying it.
So it feels a lot better than it looks.
Yeah. Looks like it's just spitting out hot air.
Panthers start from their own 20. Malone to the air on first down, and the pass was batted down. Pressure from Traylor and Taylor.
So, you know, when you look at the Miami Dolphins defense and who they're out there playing, it looks like an expansion team. I mean, here's Keith Traylor. We've seen him in Denver. We've seen him in Chicago. We've seen him in New England. He's pushing the pocket. Vonnie Holliday, of course, Jason Taylor and Vonnie Holliday, you know, was in Kansas City. He was in Green Bay for a long time. He's here. Kevin Carter was in St. Louis and Tennessee. Reggie Howard was in Carolina. I mean, they all came from another team this year.
A lot of turnover. Dolphins turned over half the roster since last season. On second and 10, Malone just gets rid of it, and Deshaun Foster picks up a first down for the Panthers out to the 38, gain of 18.
Well, I tell you, Jake Delhomme didn't feel or know that Reggie Howard was coming free from the other side. And he takes a shot to the back here. Good hit, but you see Jake's head never stopped looking at his target, his receiver there.
Reggie Howard spent 4 years in Carolina. This is his second season in Miami. Nick Goings now in the game, in the slot. Davis in the backfield. Seidman shifting into the backfield from the 38. Play action. Delhomme with time, and the pass a bit high, intended for Steve Smith.
Nice little double move that time by Steve Smith to get open. Nice throw by Jake. Steve just couldn't bring that ball down. Working outside on the rookie. Travis Daniels gets inside there. That's where the ball's supposed to be. Couple rookies right there in that play, huh? Channing Crowder along with Travis Daniels. And Nick Saban said, you know, I'm just playing my best players. I don't care if they're a rookie, a free agent, first year in the league. I'm going to play the best people I have.
Crowder, the third-round draft pick out of Florida. Daniels selected in the fourth round out of LSU. Delhomme over the top. And Smith picks up the first down in Dolphins territory. Finally taken down at the Miami 44 after an 18-yard pickup.
Well, it's just a good route combination. I mean, Steve Smith is just going to run a shallow cross right underneath here. They clear out the other side. Beats the press coverage of Travis Daniels, uses the umpire as a pick. Get the ball to the most explosive player. Smart move, smart call by Dan Henning. Good execution by Jake.
Smith's fifth catch of the day. He has the Panthers' only touchdown.
Comes the pressure. Oh, he's got him wide open.
Chris Mangum, the tight end. And he's out of bounds after picking up another first down at the Dolphins' 21. Mangum playing in his 100th NFL game, gaining 23 yards.
And you know what? They really did a good job of protection here because the Dolphins came after him. The offensive line picked it up. You see, they really came with a couple of blitzes. Here comes Zach Thomas. Bring another man from the secondary there. And Jake just stayed in there, didn't feel it, found the open man and delivered it.
So the Panthers on the move as we reach the 2-minute warning here in Miami. They have the ball on the Dolphins' 21-yard line, trailing by 11.
You know, Junior Seau learning a new defense here, not always happy with the calls, what they're telling him over there on the sideline. How many head coaches has he played for, Kevin? Nine coaches. There are a lot of guys that think that they invented the game. You know, I think he knows how to play it himself.
First and 10 ball spotted right at the shortstop position on the infield dirt. And it will go right back to that spot as the long pass was incomplete, intended for Stephen Davis. So a second and 10 coming up, a minute 55 remaining in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, the Visa Halftime Report with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. They will bring you scores and highlights and the Fox Sports Ticker. That's all coming up with Visa. You are protected.
is just looking at the smile on Jake Delome's face. You know, he's not looking at the scoreboard 21-10. He's enjoying playing out here today. He knows he wants to get a score in here before halftime. But he doesn't feel the pressure of this moment.
Delome on 2nd and 10. To the outside to Foster. And a terrific job by the rookie left corner, Travis Daniels, to bring him down at a loss of 2 yards on the play.
He's played well out here today. He's been in coverage on Steve Smith, a very explosive player. He's ran step for step with him. Good tackle in the open field there. Making his first start here, right? First start here today in the NFL.
Grew up in the Miami area, big Dolphins fan as a youngster. A 3rd down and 12. And remember, if the Panthers need to attempt a field goal, it might be right off that infield dirt.
Right on the end. Yeah, they were all practicing out there today. They went to a separate high school field to do that and work on it this week.
Delome on 3rd down, looking for Smith, and he makes a diving catch inside the 5.
No, he just beat Reggie Howard, who they wanted to go after. Steve Smith spent a lot of time in practice when Reggie Howard was in Carolina going against him, and they just felt like they could take advantage of him. Steve Smith right here in the slot, one-on-one with Howard, beats him to the inside. That's coverage in front, coverage behind. Jake Delome can't throw that ball anywhere else to get it completed. Sometimes you just have to trust your receiver. Steve Smith juggled that ball a little bit underneath there, but still wrapped it into his belly before he got to the ground.
Panthers using their first time out on a 3rd down and 12. Delome able to find Smith, who made the diving catch.
I tell you, we thought coming into today, Kenny, this would be a defensive battle. 2 really good defenses. We talked about it to start the game, and the offenses are showing the defenses up in the passing game.
Julius Peppers has checked in on offense for the first time today.
He'll be a wide receiver, and it's going to be a game here. Julius Peppers is going to go out to wide receiver along with Steve Smith. They're going to see if the coverage goes out. They get more than 2 guys covering them, they're going to run the ball to the right.
1st and goal from the 3. Delome looking that way, and it's a touchdown to Steve Smith. His 2nd touchdown today. They used Peppers as the decoy.
Taking a little drink out of the football there, huh? That was the game plan. 2 guys out there, 2 guys covering him. One-on-one, we like our chances, we're throwing it. They bring 3 guys out there, we'll go the other way and run it. Watch, you just have 2 guys out here. 2 defenders on the 2 receivers. They like their matchup here. Steve Smith goes in, a little hour out. Oop, come on back out. Another perfect throw by Jake Delome, and Steve Smith's had a heck of a first half.
7 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns for Smith from the dirt. The extra point is good. So Steve Smith atoning somewhat for his turnover earlier, which led to a Dolphins touchdown. Scores his 2nd touchdown of this 2nd quarter.
When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together there.
A 2-touchdown afternoon for Steve Smith. It's now 21-17 Miami, a 9-play, 80-yard drive. And the play selection on that drive, Brian, 9 passes, balance. No runs.
Yeah, balance, huh? Everybody looking for balance. You know what? When you get matchups like they just got, with Peppers and Steve Smith, you go to your horses. You throw it. And Jake has been accurate the last 2 drives. That was an 80-yard drive. Last week they put Julius Peppers out there on the goal line, and they took Steve Smith out of the game. He took his helmet off, and he bounced the thing outside the stadium. He said, I'm the playmaker here. I need to be out there. So now they put both of them out there.
Now we saw Jason Baker kicking off earlier. That last kickoff went out of bounds, so John Casey will handle the honors this time. And it's Welker from the 4. Taken down just shy of the 20-yard line by the rookie. First-round draft pick Thomas Davis.
That always impresses the coaching staff when the rookie goes down there and makes a hit like that on the coverage teams.
49 seconds remaining in the half as the Dolphins offense comes back out. Miami leading 21-17. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
Gus Frerotte has been well protected in the first half. Both quarterbacks with good first half, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Yeah, I think down there in the infield, no sense trying to take the chance to turn the ball over.
2 yards for Ronnie Brown as we check out other scores.
Yeah,
Oakland
how about
leading
Oakland?
the Eagles 10-6.
Yeah. Don't know, Jay Glazer told us in the pregame show today that Donovan McNabb has a sports hernia.
Wow.
Been battling that thing all season. Just had that thing confirmed by a MRI this week. He's battling through that. Had the chest problem last week where he only threw 5 touchdown passes. It was a good move by Miami right here. They got the lead. They played good in the first half. Good offense.
So the Dolphins will let the clock wind down. And that will do it for this entertaining first half in Miami. Some extracurricular activity. Mike Rucker
Better get a hold of it.
in the middle of it.
Save it for the second half, guys. You're going to need it. It's hot out here today. Well, that's going to get somebody maybe thrown out of the game.
Chris Gamble involved.
Somebody better grab him before he throws another punch and gets himself thrown out. They're already short at corner with Ken Lucas down today.
So 2 touchdown passes apiece for Gus Frerotte and Jake Delhomme, as the Miami Dolphins lead the Carolina Panthers at the half by the score of 21-17. Panthers at the half by the score of 21-17. Welcome back to Miami. A high-scoring first half as the Dolphins lead the Panthers by the score of 21-17. Temperature rising this afternoon, so are the tempers at the end of the first half. Couple of touchdown passes for both Gus Frerotte of the Dolphins, Jake Delhomme of the Panthers. Miami leading at 21-17. The Visa halftime report is next.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
First half highlights coming to you in Fox Sports High Def as we welcome you back to Miami. 21-17 lead at the half for the Dolphins over the Panthers. Kenny Albert along with Brian Baldinger. Brian, a very entertaining first half, a number of big plays on both sides.
It really was. I mean, the passing game for both teams has been very, very effective. I mean, both teams have made big plays in the passing game. We have a lot more scoring in this game than I thought we would have. And so I'm a lot more comfortable up here than Junior Seau was down there right now. But, yeah, I think that we have to look for that. I mean, the running games have been shut down, so teams have gone to the passing game. Jake Delhomme got a couple of touchdown passes, and Gus Frerotte threw a couple of touchdown passes in the first half. This first one here, you see the pass completion to Chris Chambers, the first touchdown throw to Randy McMichaels, led all tight ends and receptions coming into today's game. And then the second touchdown throw here to Chris Chambers, just a remarkable one-handed grab. Gus Frerotte said, "Thank you for making a great play." But look at it, very even first half. Really the difference in this game right now is the one turnover by the Panthers, by Steve Smith, that led to a touchdown to the Dolphins.
The only turnover of that first half, time of possession pretty even. And the fantasy update, 2 touchdown passes for both quarterbacks, Delhomme and Frerotte. Ronnie Brown, 29 yards on the ground. Steve Smith, 92 yards, 2 touchdown receptions. Log out to foxsports.com on MSN for the latest fantasy update. Olindo Mare getting set to kick off to begin this second half. Rod Smart back deep for Carolina. A 21-17 lead for the Dolphins, who beat Denver 34-10 on opening day. Lost to the Jets 17-7 last week. Panthers lost to New Orleans 23-20. beat New England 27-17. Mare's kickoff taken at the 1 by Smart. Rod Smart out across the 25-yard line. And then he is tackled after a 25-yard return. As we check in with Jay Glazer. Jay?
Well, Kenny, the big adjustment that John Fox wants to make, at least offensively in the second half, he said he's really having struggles with the Dolphins blitzing on nickel downs, on third downs, so they're going to change their protection. But he also said, we've got to play better on defensively. Hey, they gave us their best shot in the first half. We're still here. We're going to win this game. Nick Saban said the one problem he's having is Steve Smith. He said somebody has got to make a play on that guy. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jay. Smith with both touchdown receptions for the Panthers. They start from the 26, empty backfield on first down. And DeLone's pass over the middle, incomplete, intended for Kerry Colbert. Zach Thomas on the coverage.
Well, what Jay Glazer was running around at halftime finding out is that the passing games here are much better, much more advanced than I think either team really thought, and having a hard time shutting down each other right now because the running game has been shut down. So it's been in the hands of the quarterback here, and Jake really had a good first half. No turnovers. Remember, he had the one costly turnover last week against the Patriots through that interception, run back for a touchdown. He said all he does is go off to the sidelines, don't talk to anybody, don't look at anybody, and he knows he's got to come right back out on the field to play the next play.
Second and 10, Foster up the middle. Good push out to the 33-yard line. Gain of 7. Jake Delhomme told us yesterday, I feel so comfortable in this offense.
Well, he's been here now for 3 years. And these kind of throws to Ricky Prohl right there, this touchdown throw right here to Steve Smith in tight coverage. Again to Steve Smith, too, a real short distance right there. And got a smile on his face, wants to go out here and compete. Just get the Panthers a winning streak here. They lost a tough one at the end of the game against New Orleans to start the season. And they had to go back and beat the Super Bowl chance to get back to 500 last week.
Stephen Davis. And it looks like he picked up the first out across the 36-yard line. And, of course, that game last week, a rematch of Super Bowl 38, won by the Patriots over the Carolina Panthers 2 Januaries ago.
I think the thing that we haven't really talked enough about in the first half was the protection that Jake Delhomme got. And that guy right there, Mike Wall, the Panthers had 2 guys they wanted in free agency. They thought Mike Wall was the best offensive lineman, they got him. And they thought Ken Lucas was the best cornerback, and they got him. And both those guys have really upgraded those lines.
Lucas out today. Here's Davis running left, and he's out to the 42-yard line. Mike Wall spent 7 years in Green Bay, and Brian, last year the Packers allowed 14 sacks, and Wall was a big reason why.
Well, watch Mike Wall right here. Here he is, the left guard. Watch what he does right here. Goes up to the second level right here. Pins Say out on the outside, or Jason Taylor on the outside. Takes a shot from him as they run right up his back. And he's the one that helped to open up that holder. The other thing it did was it allowed Travell Wharton to go to left tackle, who played left guard a year ago for him. His more natural position.
From the 42, second and 5, it's Davis up the middle. Gain of 2 out to the 44-yard line. So it will be 3rd down and 3.
I'm going to tell you right now, if whatever team can get their running game going, I think it's going to have the better chance to win this game. Because in this heat, in the humidity, nothing wears down an opposing team more than a running game. It's harder to stop the run. It takes more out of you to tackle somebody like that. Steve Davis got 25 carries last week. They're going to rotate him and Deshaun Foster a lot more because of this heat here today.
And Foster is in now. Davis to the sidelines. 3rd down and 3. And Delhomme's pass is good enough for a first down. Steve Smith, a terrific second effort.
He's mad at himself. You see, here's the thing. Nick Saban said we have to have an answer for Steve Smith. Now he's going against their best corner right here, Sam Madison. He breaks the hand coverage right there, and now here's when Steve Smith is at his best. He becomes a punt returner, breaking tackles. Almost got out of that last tackle by Zach Thomas there.
He has 107 yards today. His second game this season over 100. Had 138 against New Orleans 2 weeks ago. This is Nick
Option.
Goings.
Oh, man.
And John Fox using some trickery, but it does not work.
You know, when Zach was at Texas Tech, I think he saw this play from Baylor. You know, because it's like, you know what? It was like his last thing he must have saw before he went to bed last night. He read this thing perfectly. This is the only time this year Carolina's run this play. You know, so he's never had a chance to even see that thing. Smelled that thing out right away. Just looked funny to him, you know? Just kept running.
A loss of 8 on the play. Now 2nd and 18 from midfield.
Carolina taking Steve Smith out for this play.
And now Delhomme calling timeout.
Trying to give guys a rest here in this third quarter. Get them fresh for the end of the game.
Delhomme did not like what he saw. Uses the first Panthers timeout of the half. A 2nd and 18 when we come back.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
Back in the heat in Miami, Dolphins leading by 4. Following the Panthers timeout, 2nd and 18 for Carolina from midfield. How about Minnesota, Brian, leading New Orleans 24-6.
Well, they want to stop the bleeding that's going on up there. And the Saints playing another game on the road this year. It's going to be a tough season for them like that.
Here's Delhomme on 2nd and 18. First catch. Nope, Kerry Colbert was out of bounds. Would have been his first catch of the game, but he was out of bounds, setting up a 3rd and 18.
Well, that time, they put Junior Seau out. Well, you see the matchups here. Kerry Colbert, only 2 catches this season. Still trying to get involved in this offense, but the left foot out of bounds. Seau taking an unusual rest here on 3rd down.
Panthers have to get to the 32 for a first down. Delhomme on 3rd and 18. Fires one, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Ricky Kroll, who would have picked up the first down had he made the catch.
Yeah, Jake would like to have that one back because he stepped up in the pocket nice. He had a lot of time. He had good vision. Just didn't make the throw.
So the punting unit comes on. Wes Welker back at his own 10-yard line. Jason Baker at his 35. Welker lets it go, and it eluded Rod Smart. Bounced into the end zone. So the Dolphins will start from their own 20. They lead by 4.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Robots. Own it on DVD Tuesday.
Week 3 of the 2005 NFL season. Gus Frerotte threw for 2 touchdowns, 144 yards in the first half. Frerotte and the Dolphins start from their own 20. On first down, incomplete, intended for Chris Chambers. Well, when we visited with Gus on Friday, he said, well, you may call me Steve DeBerg pretty soon.
Well, what a strange trip it's been for him. I mean, he hadn't really been a starter, a couple games in Cincinnati, a couple games in Minnesota, but not really a full-time starter. And here he is in his 12th year in the league, and lo and behold, he's got the reins to this offense and playing very, very well. But, yeah, you know, Chris Chandler and Steve DeBerg and Earl Morrow, I mean, a lot of names on that list that have bounced around like Gus has.
Brown bouncing to the outside and is stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker.
We were talking to John Fox about Gus Frerotte last night. He was coaching the New York Giants defense. And that game when he was with the Redskins, remember, he scored a touchdown, then he banged his head against the wall. You know, and he put himself out for the year. You know, he got hurt that day. And remember, Fox said that's the only tie that he's ever been a part of in the NFL. That was a 7-7 game between the Giants and the Redskins. Unfortunately, when you do those kind of things, it travels with you everywhere you go. People tend to remember that day in Washington.
Jeff Hostetler came in to replace Frerotte. And that game ended up in a tie as the Dolphins moved the chains.
See that little run right there by Ronnie Brown? I mean, you know, it's a first down. That's an important run for a guy like Ronnie Brown. He stuck it in there because really, when Ronnie was playing LSU and he was playing Florida, those holes sometimes, Kenny, on Saturdays would be, you know, tractor trailer size wide. You don't get those holes like that in the NFL. Sometimes you just got to stick it in there, get the yards, get the first down, get ready to go another down.
From the 32, play fake, rolling right for Rod, incomplete. Looking for Marty Booker.
See, that's a bootleg right there. And Randy McMichael was the featured receiver in this, but they covered him. So then Gus Frerotte went to his next read, which was behind. I think Marty Booker going to run across at about 10 yards deep. Now the ball's a little bit thrown behind him right. That's a hard throw across your body running right, trying to hit a guy in stride.
McMichael only one catch today, and it was in the end zone. 2nd and 10. Ronnie Brown. He's tackled from behind by Julius Peppers after a gain of just 1 yard. 8:40 remaining third quarter as we check in with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, you're talking about Ronnie Brown, and all week long before the draft, everybody said which way they're going to go. Ronnie Brown, Braylon Edwards, Cadillac Williams. Obviously, you have the debate raging right now. What Nick Saban told his staff on draft day, he said, the reason why I want Ronnie Brown is when we played against Auburn, my players came off the field and said, we don't want any more of this guy, Coach. We want Cadillac Williams back in the game. That's what was the deciding factor.
All right, thanks, Jay. Here's Frerotte on 3rd and 9. Again, rolling right. He fires downfield, and it's incomplete off the fingertips of Chambers. And just to finish up on Jay's point, Cadillac Williams, should he gain 100 yards or more on the ground today, would become the first rookie in NFL history to rush for 100 yards in each of his first 3 games. At halftime of today's game in Green Bay, Cadillac 18 carries, 51 yards.
On his way, huh? On his way to another 100-yard day. Had that big 70-yard run against the Minnesota Vikings week 1 to put that game on ice. Got the big play. Trying to keep it away here from Steve Smith.
Rolls around and is down at the 25-yard line. 41 yards on the punt and the subsequent roll. All the scoring in the first half, Dolphins leading by 4. Panthers start from their own 25-yard line. Deshaun Foster in the backfield. And this is Foster, and he is forced back. Jeff Scanina, you know how long he's been in the league? He played for Carolina during their inaugural season back in 1995.
Yeah, you know, and so he's been in the league for 11 years now. And he's just one of those guys, you can line him up in any position, at end, at nose tackle him. He's one of those guys I talked about that makes this Dolphin defense look like an expansion team. In fact, this defense is the oldest defense in the league by a number of years of experience and age.
Now 2nd down and 11. Inside handoff, Foster. And he fights to work his way back to the line of scrimmage. So a 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, there's Zach Thomas in the middle. Of course, Bonnie Holiday helped. He was at the bottom of the pile. You know, I mean, they brought veterans in. Kevin Carter standing behind Zach Thomas there. Everywhere you look, veteran guys. And all these guys came from other systems. You see the average age, you know, the oldest in the league. So all these guys have familiarity. You know, they all know how to play the game. They've all played for winners. Some Super Bowl champion teams. Now they're just trying to learn the new system here in Miami.
Panthers have to get to the 35 for a first down. Empty backfield. And DeLone's pass incomplete. He was looking for Deshaun Foster, so the Panthers go 3 and out.
I tell you, Jason Taylor got a great jump that time too. I don't know if he was offsides, but it was darn close, and it forced Jake Delhomme to really step up and throw that one. But watch Taylor on the outside here. See, he was up out of his stance and moving. Hey, Terrell Wharton did a good job of keeping his hands on him. So going up against a guy like that, I got to have my techniques work perfectly for him.
Good kick by Baker, forcing Welker all the way back to the 23. And good coverage as well.
Yeah, there's a rookie.
Adam Seward, rookie linebacker out of UNLV, getting downfield, 52-yard punt, only a 2-yard return.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Ford F-150. Built Ford tough. By Domino's and the new Steak Fanatic Pizza. Get the door, it's Domino's. By Madden NFL 2006 in stores now. And by Circuit City. For the hottest new technology, think Circuit City, just what I needed.
Well, the players on both sides here in Miami, Brian, just trying to keep cool.
Yeah, the cold towels, those things dipped in ice. Just trying to get them through the next hour plus, whatever it takes to finish this game.
Dolphins start from their own 27. Here's Sammy Morris on first down, trying to turn the corner, and he's knocked out of bounds by Mike Minter. After a short gain, Morris picking up just one.
Well, they're running behind Vernon Carey, who just went from right tackle to left tackle. We talked about this rotation that's going on, and that's the area that they're trying to upgrade. You know, if you look at Vernon Carey right here going up against Mike Ruckers, he missed that inside block and forced Sammy Morris outside right away, and they have to get better at that position. And, you know, Nick Saban probably has the biggest staff in this league, and one of the guys he hired was Hudson Houck, offensive line coach with Southern Cal, with the Dallas Cowboys, been a part of some great lines. He's here trying to get that position upgraded.
Second down and 9 for Rott. Over the middle, it's caught by Chambers, and he has a first down. Hudson Houck, one of 22 assistant coaches brought in by Nick Saban here in Miami.
Well, they have assistants to assistants to assistants here, you know, and what Nick Saban said was actually pretty smart to us. He said, I got a lot of young guys on my staff that I'm grooming to take over for guys, because this day and age, the key free agents in the league are coaches. I mean, how many assistant coordinators left teams this year? Over 20 coordinators changed teams this year. So you lose a guy, you want to replace him. That Hudson Houck coached some of the greatest offensive lines in college and the pros ever.
Pass intended for the tight end, Randy McMichael, who looked around for a flag, but there were none thrown.
I tell you, Vinny Churku never looked. He actually got that ball in the face there of Randy McMichael without ever turning his head around. Great coverage by Churku. See that? You can face mask a guy. Can you remember that back in the days when you played in the street, you weren't allowed to face mask? You can face mask as long as you don't contact the person. So as soon as he saw McMichael look for the ball, he just put his hands up.
You can't grab the face mask, but you can put your hands in front of it.
Oh, yeah, you can block it all you want.
Now second and 10, 39-yard line. Here's Morris. And Morris able to gain 6. Out to the 45. You know, getting back to the Dolphins coaching staff, you know, they have a strength and conditioning coach.
Right.
Then they have an assistant strength and conditioning coach. Then they have an associate strength and conditioning coach.
3 strength and conditioning coaches, of course. You know, he knows all about that. He said when he was at LSU, he was allowed 4 grad assistants. But he said he could have as many coaches in the weight room as he wanted. So, you know, his guys like Belichick and Saban, they're always trying to find the edge. So he had a ton of guys that were coaching, and they just said, they're conditioning coaches. They're the bench press coach. Meanwhile, they're out there working on the field.
There's a coach for everything. Third down and 4. Penalty marker, pass caught, first down in Carolina territory. Gain of 9 by Morris. But there's a flag.
Holding.
And it will be brought back.
Number 73. 10-yard penalty. Beat third down.
Well, that's Stocker McDougal going up against Julius Peppers. And, you know, Peppers doesn't have a sack yet this year. But this is what Julius Peppers is doing. He's drawing coverage. He's getting penalties. Right here, he's got the hand on his back right here, holding him back and grabbing him. And Stocker was just a little too late getting that hand off the back of him.
So it will be a third down and 14 from the 35. First coach Nick Saban worked under in the NFL was?
Jerry Glanville.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the Houston Oilers back in 1988. Out of the shotgun for Rock. Pump fakes. Now throws, looking for David Boston. And it's incomplete. Covered on the play by Dante Wesley.
David Boston, huh? Remember David Boston when he was at Arizona? He led the league in receiving one year. He had almost 1,600 yards of receiving. He's had some injuries along the way. Went out to San Diego. Things didn't work out there. Got hurt last year. Another one of those pickups here. You know, and one of those guys that played in other teams, now part of this group as Nick Saban tries to instill his system here in Miami.
98 catches back in 2001 for David Boston. He went to the Pro Bowl. Chris Gamble from the 18-yard line. Out across the 25. So the Carolina Panthers trailing by 4. Back on offense following the 9-yard return by Gamble. Well, as we check out the baseball diamond here at Dolphin Stadium, we remind you that the final Saturday of the regular season is coming up in 6 days. Yankees and the Red Sox, plus other regional action on Fox, 1 Eastern. This coming Saturday with the Yankees, Red Sox, Indians, White Sox battling for those American League playoff positions. Here's Deshaun Foster. And Foster barrels ahead to the 38-yard line. Marlins have lost 8 of their last 10, and they're dropping out of the playoff race.
And the Dolphins are happy because they're going to cover that infield up. But Major League Baseball, they're just like the National Football League. They love drama. I mean, finish the season with Yankees and Red Sox. Heck, that's like a playoff game all by itself. Then, you know, tonight you got the Chargers and the Giants. Eli Manning going out to San Diego. He was drafted by them, you know, and then traded, sulked, and got his wish. And so Chargers are going to be looking to put one up on Eli tonight. Yeah, drama is what fuels these leagues.
Giants off to a 2-0 start, 2nd and 1. And Foster picks up the first. Giants, in their long and storied history, they have never scored as many points over their first 2 games as they have this year.
Well, I mean, everybody's going to probably look at that stat tonight, Kenny. Probably people will see that, but their defense has played real well. You know, a lot of good free agents around the league this year, but probably Antonio Pierce leaving his mark on that Giant defense right now.
They've scored 69 points in their 2 victories over Arizona and New Orleans.
Jake likes when he goes to this empty backfield here. 5 wide receivers.
Well, the 40 on first down.
Thomas. Zach went, literally, he crawled on the ground to get that sack. He's already low to the ground. And then he went lower. And the timing of it beat everything. Watch, he's on all 4s here to make this sack. Here he comes, and he times it, boom, now he's gone. Now Travell Ward is trying to get down. I mean, I don't know how an offensive tackle stops that. I mean, you can't get that low.
Can't get much lower than that.
No.
What would you have done if you were playing offensive line?
I'd try to sit on him. But I don't know if you can sit on him moving Zach Thomas. He's moving.
Now 2nd down and 16. Delhomme over the middle. Mangum, the tight end, makes the catch. And again, it's Zach Thomas on the tackle, about 7 yards shy of the marker.
Well, you get if you're Travell Wharton, you're the left tackle here. You get Zach Thomas crawling on the ground. Then you get Jason Taylor one-on-one. That's excellent technique by Travell Wharton. See where he got his hands, Kenny? Right underneath the armpits. You grab the armpits and you squeeze them as hard as you can. And you don't let them go. They're never going to call holding when your hands are right there.
So good work by the 2nd-year left tackle out of South Carolina, Travell Wharton. Panthers have to get to midfield. Delhomme under pressure. Down he goes. Ball is loose. And it's picked up by the Dolphins.
That's a good shot right there. That's a good shot of a couple of veterans, Bonnie Holiday, Jason Taylor. And that's just pressure. They kept coming after Jake. They got him on a sack. They kept coming and coming. They overloaded the right side of the offensive line. Watch the pressure come. There's Seau coming. There's Lance Schulters coming. There's Zach Thomas coming. They brought everybody over that side. Bonnie Holiday might have been a rugby player. I mean, that's a pretty good scrum right there.
He came out of the scrum with the football. Schulters the sack and the forced fumble. Holiday the recovery. There was a late flag thrown at the end of the play.
Over. Personal foul. Defense number 29. Miami keeps the ball after a 15-yard penalty. First down.
So I guess a penalty against Sam Madison after the fumble.
I guess that's what you look like when you come out of that rugby scrum.
Well, yeah, especially, you're playing on that infield. Yeah, I mean, you got to get, so you got to wipe the dirt off. You got to get the dirt out of your mouth. But you know what? When you got the ball back for the offense, that dirt tastes pretty good. Bunch of veterans right there. The only thing I worry about all those veterans, Kenny, is, in Miami here, under Shula, Jimmy Johnson, under Wannstedt, this team is fading. It's hot. These guys are practicing hard every day. You just don't know how old the older guys like that can hold up, if they can hold up for a whole season.
From the 27. Down to the 22-yard line, Ronnie Brown, a gain of 5. After the last Carolina turnover, it took the Dolphins only 2 plays to score. As time winds down in this third quarter.
See that right there? Kevin Carter told us that's shared experience. Veteran shared experience. Carter, Jason Taylor, Vonnie Holliday, Keith Traylor. Now those guys have been in Super Bowl games, playoffs. They know it's the fourth quarter.
Dolphins hearing it from the crowd here in Miami. Will return after these messages from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
3 quarters in the books in Miami. Kenny Albert, Brian Baldinger, Jay Glazer. Dolphins leading 21-17, looking to capitalize on the second Carolina Panthers turnover of this game.
Well, the last turnover that they got, they turned into a touchdown by Randy McMichael in that first quarter.
Second down and 4 for the Dolphins from the 21. To the end zone. It's Chris Gamble. Did he make the catch for the interception? Yes, he did.
Wow, what a play. Chris Gamble, of course, last year had 6 interceptions as a rookie, tied for the league in the NFC. This is a great catch here. Chambers tried to triple move him, and you know what? I think he moved too much. I don't know if that's a full completion. I don't know if he has possession here at the end of this. The ball hits the ground. You can see the back judge can't really see it there. That might be worth a review. Watch this right here, Kenny. As that ball hits the ground, it comes loose and moves. That should not be a catch.
I don't know. It looked pretty good to me.
That hit the ground and moved in his hands. That's going to be a possession issue.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. By Energizer, keep going. By Pizza Hut, home of America's favorite pan pizza. Gather round the good stuff. And by FedEx Express, international shipping made easy.
Welcome back. As we went to break, Nick Saban challenged whether or not Chris Gamble made a legal interception. So Bill Vinovich, the referee, taking a look at it. It will either be an interception and Panthers football or a 3rd down and 4 for the Dolphins on the Carolina 21.
Hey, I honestly don't know. It has to be evidence saying that ball didn't hit the ground and move, and then he got possession there. It's a really tight call.
Now, you and I disagree. I thought that his hand was underneath the football.
After reviewing the play, they're ruling on the field stands. Okay. First down.
You got it, Ken. That possession, I don't want to take anything away from Chris Gamble. It's a great catch. Great control right there. Carolina will get the ball. It was a good challenge by Nick Saban. It was worth a good look.
Now, if that play had been overturned, Saban would have gotten a 3rd challenge today because the first challenge was in Miami's favor, but now by losing that challenge, Saban has none remaining.
Well, the result is that Carolina, and there's not enough of that out here today. Here comes the reserves. That's ice that's melting by the second. But yeah, the result is here that Carolina's got 1st and 10 at the 20.
Temperature has gone up 1 degree since the opening kickoff, now at 86. 1st and 10 from the 20 to toss It's Stephen Davis. And he is forced back by Keith Traylor. No gain on the play. We check in with James Brown in Los Angeles.
All right, Kenny Albert, nice change of pace at running back for the Falcons. The bruiser, T.J. Duckett, up the gut, 12 yards to pay dirt. Third straight game with a touchdown run. Atlanta looking good on the ground. 24-16 on top of a good defense in Buffalo. Back to Kenny Albert.
Well, you know, JB, Buffalo got pierced last week by Tampa. You know, part of that was the young running back up there. Cadillac Williams having a good day, and #1 running team in football a year ago, playing well up in Buffalo today.
Jason Taylor shaken up out of the game. Here's Delhomme on 2nd and 10. That pass was batted. Incomplete, so a 3rd and 10 coming up for Carolina.
You've got to make your hay when Jason Taylor is out of the game. That's Canina. That's Canina right there. Really didn't get off the line of scrimmage, but he timed that paw of his up there just right. He doesn't have real long arms either now.
And then Delhomme was just looking to knock it down.
Get the ball down. The fans look like they're not bothered by the heat. Jason Taylor back out there. Familiar position at right end.
Empty backfield, 3rd and 10. Delhomme under pressure. Down he goes. Jason Taylor. Shaken up 2 plays ago. Comes up with his 2nd sack of the season.
Well, if you're going to go empty backfield and you're not going to give your left tackle, Travell Wharton here, any help, you have to get rid of the ball quickly.
Holding. Defense number 55. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Well, holding on Sayal is going to rule this all off, and Carolina's going to get a fresh set of downs. Costly penalty by Sayal. But watch Jason Taylor here. Boom. See, he got his hands on Wharton first. Got his hand on the left pad there of Wharton, is able to jerk him and get to Delhomme. It is a full assignment trying to block Jason Taylor for a day without help.
And then the flag thrown on Sayal. Gives Carolina a first down from their own 26-yard line. Pass complete to Steve Smith on the outside. Wrestled out of bounds at the 33, and a late flag as Dolphins a little too rough on Smith after he was out of bounds.
Steve Smith has something to say about it. All that does is pump that kid up more.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 29. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Well, it's unnecessary by Sam Madison at the end of this play, but his coverage is wrong. Watch, he's up there on Steve Smith. Now he takes off, and Carolina goes right after him. You got a guy backpedaling against Steve Smith, you're not going to have any chance. You see, now he takes him to the ground, 8 yards out of bounds. It's silly.
So 2 consecutive penalties called on some of those veterans you were talking about. First Junior Sayal, and then Sam Madison.
Yeah.
An 8-yard reception by Smith, and then 15 more thanks to the penalty. 10th penalty of the game. Dolphins have now been called for at least 10 in all 3 of their games. Play action, and that pass batted down. Again, it's
Scanina.
Jeff Scanina, the former Carolina Panther.
Scanina looks like he's playing in the secondary here. He's playing over there left end. He's been inside there. Now, see, that's bad ice right there. It's gone. They got to get the fresh supplies coming back in.
It's bad ice management.
Bad ice management, Kenny, yeah. As a hockey guy, you know about bad ice management. But they just shaved it. Need again another block pass.
Now 2nd and 10 from the 47. And the slant is caught by Smith, who has become Delhomme's go-to guy here today. He is in Dolphins territory, gain of 4 as we check in with Jay Glazer. Jay?
Kenny, it's clear the Dolphins are trying to frustrate Steve Smith today, trying to get him to lose his composure. Earlier in the game, 2 series ago, Sam Madison came out of nowhere on that previous turnover. Steve Smith was just walking off the field. Madison came and blew him up, and that's why he got that first penalty. But all game long, they've been taking shots at him, trying to get him to lose his composure.
Here he is in the slot right here, going up against his former teammate in Carolina, Reggie Howard.
They're down in 6. Panthers have to get to the 43 for a first down. Good coverage. Terrific coverage on the play by Eddie Jackson, another former Carolina Panther.
And just trying to get a fresh body out there right now. Trying to stay as fresh as possible. Good defensive series there, even after the unnecessary roughness called by Madison.
Jackson played in 10 games with the Panthers last season. So Baker out to punt from the 40. Welker in single safety. He lets it go, and it takes a Panthers bounce. And Rod Smart will down it right around the 2-yard line. So Jason Baker pinning the Dolphins deep in their own territory. A 46-yard punt. Coming up next week, a Fox doubleheader. It all begins with the pregame show at noon Eastern. Many of you will see the Lions and the Bucks. Redskins will host the Seahawks, and then the Falcons in the late game. Brian, you and I will be in Atlanta as they take on the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings trying to get their first win today. And are trying to get back on track up in Buffalo today.
Now the Dolphins start from their own 4. Big hole for Ronnie Brown. Brown breaks 3. He's across midfield. The longest run of Ronnie Brown's NFL career down to the Panthers' 38-yard line. He gains 58 yards on the play.
And what a time to have his best run in the NFL. Backed up on the goal line, down the 2-yard line, and he comes out and splits this thing. This is what we saw from Cadillac Williams. Here's that hole right there. He splits it, runs right through tackles, right through the safety right there. Off the baseball diamond, gets him out of that horrible part of the field. I think he might have pulled up at the end of that play, but that's finishing a run.
58-yard pickup. Here's Sammy Morris. Runs into a wall. So Ronnie Brown with his first 100-yard game in the NFL. Now at 107.
Well, it's a run like that will raise that average right there. You see him at the end of this run right here. He's grabbing it. Any back that grabs that right hamstring right there might have felt that thing twinge. Of course, he could have been just leaking oil there. And then you just kind of grab the hamstring anyways to let everybody know that's your hamstring, but you're just tired. First 100-yard day of his career in the NFL.
2nd and 9.
That's the other reason why they like him. They like his hands.
Here's Brown inside the 30. Down to the 27-yard line. Gain of 10 more yards for Ronnie Brown. No relation to James Brown. Take it away, JB.
You know what? I used to be that fast, Kenny, but take a look at what the Colts did today. They did it on the ground. Edgerrin James, 27 carries, 108 yards. Colts win it 13-6, improved to 3-0. Colts with more wins than Manning has touchdowns. He only has 2 on the season. Back to Kenny Albert.
Wow, another low-scoring game for the Indianapolis Colts, but they remain undefeated. From the 27, here's Brown again. Inside the 25, down to the 20.
Looks like a different guy. I mean, really, he looks like a different guy here in the second half than what we saw in the first 2.5 games of the year. And that's what confidence will do. That's what, being in the system for another week will do. That's what a head coach that supports you and says, don't listen to anybody else. Well, he's gaining on Cornell here. We may be, a couple weeks from now, we may be saying that Nick Saban made the right pick. And how quickly things can change. The one guy watching all this is Ricky Williams, who's working out with the team. Can't practice with them yet, but will come off the suspension list in a couple of weeks. And Nick Saban said, what the heck is the downside of bringing Ricky Williams back when the player said, we're okay with it?
There's Sammy Morris. And Nick Saban said the plan at this point will be to use Williams and Brown together.
Yeah.
They have a bye next week. Then we'll play in Buffalo. And on October 10th, the day after the game against the Bills, Ricky can start practicing with the team, and he can play in the Dolphins' 5th game, October 16th in Tampa.
Well, heck, Nick Saban said they bought a gauntlet for Ricky Williams to go out and practice on the field after everybody's gone. Where he's running through that machine where, everything kind of bangs off his elbows trying to knock the ball out.
Third down at 3. Complete Chambers. And Chris Chambers picks up a first down at the 15-yard line with just over 9 minutes remaining. as we check in once again with Jay.
It's interesting to hear, guys, some of the veterans who were more outspoken about Ricky last year, now how they've changed their tune. For example, Zach Thomas said, yeah, last year I was mad, but in this business, if a guy can help you, you've got to have a very short-term memory. And the type of training camp he had, heck, we'll all welcome him back.
And Nick Saban told us Williams had an outstanding preseason. From the 14-yard line, it's Morris. Lowers the shoulder, gains 2, down to the 12.
Well, to pick up on what Jay said, I mean, Ronnie Brown was out, so Ricky Williams, he was toting the pill in the preseason. He kind of carried the offense and got a lot of reps, got a lot of work in the preseason, was in good shape, a little light to start, but had gained the weight back, been working out, whether team practices in the weight room. But Ronnie Brown has given this entire team a lift with that run here coming off the goal line.
2nd down and 8 from the 13. Here's Brown. How would you have reacted? Were you ever in a situation during your playing career where a player quit on the team?
Well, we had a player in Eric Dickerson that was suspended, and it was controversial whether to suspend him, bring him back, and suspend him for the year. We ended up bringing him back. We welcomed him back. Same thing that Jay just said. You got to have a short-term memory. But, we started this broadcast today by saying that Carolina has shut down 2 quality backs to start the season. Deuce McAllister, Corey Dillon, and the young rookie here, Ronnie Brown, is the guy that pierces.
Now 3rd down and 5. 3 wide receivers. Perrott to the end zone, and it goes out of the end zone intended for Randy McMichael. Yeah, Ronnie Brown today with more yards in this game than McAllister and Dillon combined gained against the Carolina defense.
And only 100 yards combined, those 2 guys, McAllister and Dillon.
Brown with 117 on the ground, including that 58-yard scamper moments ago. 27-yard attempt for Olindo Mare. His first attempt today. So Mare extends the Dolphins lead to a touchdown with 7.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. An entertaining game here in Miami.
Fox NFL Sunday, sponsored by NikeGridiron.com.
Back in Miami, a 24-17 lead for the Dolphins. Both teams looking for their 2nd victory of the season. Olindo Mare getting set to kick off. Jamal Robertson back deep for Carolina.
This is a good kick. No shot to return that one.
So the Panthers will start from their own 20 when we come back midway through the 4th quarter in Miami. Our game summary: Dolphins turn one of the Panther turnovers into a touchdown. Steve Smith, first career game with 2 receiving touchdowns, also fumbled a punt return. And Ronnie Brown, his first touchdown and a career-high 58-yard run for the Dolphins. Stallone to the outside, incomplete, intended for Ricky Prohl.
Well, I'll tell you who's done a good job of just containing this Carolina Panther offense, especially in the 3rd quarter, has been those guys we talked about at the beginning. Jason Taylor, Sayal, Zach Thomas. Phenomenal day by all 3 of the guys. All of them on the field right now, playing in this heat, playing with all those games under their belt. I think they're all smiling right now, and they'd really be smiling if they could finish this game off.
Now 2nd and 10. Panthers from their own 20-yard line. Malone looking for Kerry Colbert, and there's a penalty marker. Reggie Howard on the coverage.
Again, going after Reggie Howard, too. And that's a good call, because he definitely interfered with the receiver there with the ball in the air.
Pass interference. Defense, number 25. Spot foul. Automatic. First down.
See Reggie Howard in the slot. He turns to run. He's in good position. He's in a trail technique. He never turns around to look for the ball, though. He eyes the man up the whole time. And what the technique is there, when Kerry Colbert turns for the ball, that's when the defender should turn for the ball to eliminate those kind of plays.
A 27-yard penalty gives the Panthers a first down from their own 47. Complete to Steve Smith, and Smith breaks free towards the end zone. Touchdown! His third touchdown today, 53 yards from DeLone to Smith.
And what an explosion after the catch by Steve Smith, because he ran away from everybody. And you thought somebody might have had an angle on him. You talk about making up for a fumble punt in that first quarter. Watch this on Madison here. Boom, there's the catch. Now watch him turn it on. Travis Daniels, the rookie, had a shot on him, and he just bounced off him. And then, like a Sports Illustrated type pose.
So Steve Smith with his third touchdown today. He ties a team record with his 11th catch of today's game. And now Casey will try and tie it with the extra point. He does. So we are tied at 24, 7-12 remaining in the fourth quarter following Steve Smith's third touchdown reception of today's game. The Carolina Panthers have battled back. Steve Smith ties a club record with his third touchdown of the game. We are tied at 24. Wes Welker on the return for the Dolphins, and he takes it out across the 35-yard line.
Here, look at Steve Smith's touchdown here. The third one in the same end zone here today. Got Sam Madison out there. He gets separation right away from him. See, again, Sam running out on him so he never gets his hands on him. And this is where the team has to wrap him up. Right there, Travis Daniels has to get him down. I mean, you at least have to trip him up, slow him down so the pursuit can come and get him to the ground. Jake Smart, though. Keep feeding him.
A career game for Steve Smith. Dolphins start from their own 35. Here's Ronnie Brown, who on that last drive became the first Dolphin rookie to rush for over 100 yards in a game since J.J. Johnson in 1999. We'll look at Steve Smith's touchdown celebration.
Yeah, but you know, when do they think about those things? Is that just spontaneous? Is that done in the dreams the night before? Somebody emailing him on his website what to do? I'll tell you one thing, the heat doesn't affect that guy. He just seems like he keeps getting stronger and stronger. Boy, they missed him last season. You know, all those injuries they had. His was probably as severe as anybody.
On 2nd and 9, deflected and nearly picked off. It hit the ground. Dante Wesley nearly came up with the interception.
I think Peppers got one of those long arms of his on the ball here. Remember, he was a basketball player at North Carolina. I think he got a little rejection right here. Watch this. Somehow from the right end spot, he got into the middle of that line.
He did.
Yeah. Those are the kind of balls that, you know, do get intercepted too, because it gets tipped up. Now it's a tip drill. Peppers doesn't have sacks today, but he's influenced the way this game is played with the way that they have to protect him. He's gotten his hands on a few balls.
Now a 3rd down and 9. Dolphins have to get to the 45 for a first. And Farrat's pass incomplete. He was looking for Sammy Morris out of the backfield, so the Dolphins send out the punting unit.
Peppers made him step up. It looked like he threw that ball flat-footed. Peppers really got a good rush that time. Watch the takeoff on Peppers here. See Vernon Carey? He didn't even get his hands on him.
So Donnie Jones will punt. Back at his own 22-yard line. Chris Gamble back deep for the Panthers. Good kick, forcing Gamble all the way back to the 9. Gamble with the interception earlier out of Dillard High School in nearby Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's been Steve Smith today for the Carolina Panthers. The 3 touchdowns of his, all in the same end zone. Here they've been. 2 short ones. Nice lob throw by Jake on that one. A little more of a bullet right there. And then what Steve Smith is as good as any receiver in this league does, what he can do after the catch. And then, a little posting at the end. Why not? Not often you get 3 touchdowns on the road in this league. Remember Nick Saban said we need to have an answer for Steve Smith. They still don't have an answer for it. Remember, and Nick Saban told us that he still coaches defensive backs like he did when he was an assistant in the pros and in college.
Works with the DBs out at practice all week. Stephen Davis on first down, gaining 2 out to the 17-yard line. Jacksonville and the Jets are tied late fourth quarter as we check out other scores. Jets beat the Dolphins last week 17-7. Dolphins and Panthers tied at 24. Under 6 minutes remaining, fourth quarter.
Zach Thomas told us last week he gave up 17 points to the Jets, and they said they played poorly. Gave up an 80-yard drive, a 90-yard drive. Now they have to rebound after that 2-play drive by Carolina to tie the score.
Second down and 8. Off the play fake. Delhomme able to get rid of it. Finds Stephen Davis. Nice move. And he picks up a first down out to the 28-yard line as he avoided a couple of tacklers.
Sayal's down. He's getting up slow. Really, if you have to look at one thing here for both teams, the tackling hasn't been real good here in the second half. Oh, no! Sayal not really sure what's wrong here. He's going to walk it off.
There's John Casey, who already hit from 52 earlier today, who may be called upon here in these closing minutes. Davis on first down. Out across the 30. Gain of 3, setting up second down and 7. 4.5 remaining, fourth quarter. From Dolphin Stadium in Miami, Kenny Albert along with Brian Baldinger and Jay Glazer. Dolphins led 14-3 after 1. Miami led 21-17 at halftime and at the end of the third quarter.
The end of that play by Junior Seau. I think he got hit by Zach Thomas by his own player, I think.
Second down and 7.
That's what you got to do, right?
Nice hole out across the 35-yard line to the 36. Gain of 6 for Deshaun Foster. So a 3rd and 1 coming up with 3:45 remaining.
It's been a heck of a game, Kenny. I mean, you look at both teams. Playing in this kind of heat, you can't really prepare for that. Uniforms are dirty. Guys are giving it everything they've got out there. Saban's coaching. Fox over there on the other side. Been on the infield here today. Rain like heck all pregame. Field's been wet. Delhomme's jersey is out right now. It's hanging out. Fans are up on their feet. I mean, this is the NFL here. Week 3. Dolphins trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth from a year ago. Jake doesn't like what he sees. Got all the drama you could possibly want.
So Delhomme calls timeout. Uses the second Panthers timeout. Dolphins lost 1 on the challenge, so they have 2 remaining. Coming up next week, Detroit travels to Tampa. Seattle visits Washington. And the late game, the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings from the Georgia Dome. It all gets started with Fox NFL Sunday at noon Eastern.
How about that Monday night game, Kenny? How about that game of the people that stayed awake for to see the Redskins come back? I was reading something where Mike Holmgren was watching that game, and he said he couldn't sleep at night. He said, how in the heck do you leave that game? You're winning 13-0 like the Cowboys, where you give up 2 touchdowns in the span of a couple of minutes, and then you lose that kind of a game.
If Mike Holmgren couldn't sleep, imagine what Bill Parcells' night was like.
No. Dan Henning was talking about Bill Parcells, the offensive coordinator of Carolina yesterday. They both coached at Florida State. One was offense, Parcells was defense. And a lot of stories to be told between those two guys over the years.
That was 35 years ago, and when Henning tells the stories, it sounds like just yesterday.
Yeah.
3rd down and 1. Stephen Davis picks up the first down. A huge play for the Carolina Panthers out across the 40-yard line as we approach 3 minutes remaining.
Well, Big Country gets the first down, and what Carolina has to be thinking about here, and what Miami certainly knows, is that John Casey has kicked 3 straight field goals over 50 yards. 2 last week, 1 in this game. I don't know if I've ever seen a kick 3 straight field goals over 50 yards in this league.
Kicked a 52-yarder today. Last week against New England, a 51 and a 52-yarder, and keep the baseball infield in mind.
Yeah,
may have to kick off the dirt. Globe on first down, looking for Kerry Colbert. A flag. Travis Daniels on the coverage.
Travis Daniels, the rookie out there. Carolina's got a couple of calls out there
Pass
today.
interference. Defense number 21. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
This the 11th penalty on the Dolphins today.
That's Kerry Colbert, who doesn't have a catch in 2 weeks. Really, all you need to do, I don't know if what he really needs to do is turn to find that football when the receiver looks for it.
16-yard penalty. Let's check in with Jay.
Guys, before the game, I was standing with John Casey on that dirt as he was warming up, kept having some problems, and I asked him, what's the problem with this dirt? He said, it's the follow-through. You have to be careful with it. It alters the way he has to follow through and that planting leg.
All right, thanks, Jay. Stephen Davis, Games 1. As you mentioned earlier, Brian, John Casey, along with the punter, Jason Baker, this week down in Charlotte, went to some local high school baseball fields and practiced the holding and kicking off the dirt.
That's coaching, isn't it? Planning ahead for probably the only stadium they'll be in this year that has a baseball diamond. You know what? Get used to it, guys. And here it is right here. Jason Kyle, the snapper. And it looked like it was a pretty good motion.
Well, 2 minutes to go here in Miami. A tie game at the 2-minute warning.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the new Sprint, the official telecommunications service sponsor of the NFL.
There is John Casey, the last remaining original Carolina Panther, over on the sidelines, getting ready for a potential game-winning attempt.
Maybe Steve Smith will do something about that. The way he's been scoring going this direction today.
2 minutes to go. 2nd down and 9 from the 43. Holmes pass intercepted. Down the sidelines, Lance Schulters.
What a play by Schulters, but it was a bad throw by Jake. Remember, he talked to Peyton Manning this week about throwing an interception for a touchdown, and Peyton said, sometimes I just want to go choke somebody. I think that's what Jake wants to do right here. They went to Colbert right here. Lance Schulters sitting on that slant all the time. One of those veteran pickups here this offseason. Played a lot of football in a couple of spots in San Francisco, in Tennessee.
Ronnie Brown, some extra yardage down to the 16 for Schulters. His second takeaway today, forced a fumble on a sack earlier, and now his second interception of the season.
Jake never saw him. I mean, he's looking at Colbert the whole time, never sees Schulters coming from the inside out, never read that coverage. The defense, which has carried this football team, stellar play of Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor, Seau, and Schulters here today. Said the personality of this team is defense. I think it starts with Nick Saban.
So 3 Carolina turnovers. Here's Brown up the middle. Now let's talk about Olindo Mare, who hit from 24 earlier. He's the all-time leading scorer for the Dolphins, surpassed Gary Premian's mark late last season. And it could come down to the foot of Mare, who has kicked 10 career game-winning field goals in either the fourth quarter or overtime.
He doesn't have to kick off a baseball diamond. Remember last week, though, the opening drive against the Jets drove it all the way down there. They've got a new long snapper here. For years, it was Ed Perry. They made the switch to a 26-year-old rookie, John Denny, now the snapper. They had a bad snap there in the first field goal attempt last week.
And it led to the shortest miss of Mare's career, a 21-yarder against the Jets. So the Panthers, Brian, have used their final timeout. It's a 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. What a turn of events. The Panthers driving. They thought they would have a chance for a game-winning field goal, and Delhomme picked off by Lance Schulters.
Well, you know, Dan Henning was talking to us last night, and I asked Dan, I said, isn't it a fine line sometimes for Jake? A great throw and a throw that he forces. He said no. Sometimes he just forces footballs that we have a hard time living with. That last one was one of them.
Ronnie Brown. Now looking ahead, would you kick on 3rd down just in case there's a bad snap? You would get another chance?
I think you're close enough to do that. I mean, you just want to run as much time off this clock. Right now, Carolina can't stop the clock. But you don't want to give Carolina with Steve Smith and any Hail Mary, you don't want to give them any opportunity here. Cincinnati looks like they're going to stay undefeated.
You could let it run down, run one more play, kick on 3rd down, and then if there's a problem with the snap, there's still more time.
Well, I think Nick Saban, who's a situation specialist in the game of football, has rehearsed this very same thing, and that's what they're going to do here, Ken.
Farrat takes it towards the middle of the field to put Mare into a better field goal position.
Looks like this is going to be about a 30-yard attempt.
Dolphins will use a timeout, and they will attempt a field goal on 3rd down. And again, if there's a bad snap and Mare does not get the kick off, they'll have another shot.
Well, the difference with the interception that Jake threw last week against the Patriots is they won that game. The interception here in this final minute is going to be one that's going to be a hard one to live with this week.
This will be a 32-yard attempt.
And here's how Miami got the ball down there to set up this Olinda Mare possible winning field goal kick.
So Denny will snap it. The punter, Jones, is the holder. He will place the ball down on the 22. It's a 32-yard attempt for Olindo Mare with 7 seconds remaining. Placed down. The kick from Mare is straight through.
Perfect. And how Nick Saban has turned things around here in Miami.
So Mare connects on his second field goal of the 4th quarter, giving Miami a 3-point lead as they take advantage of the Carolina turnover. 10 of their points have come following a Panthers turnover.
That was perfect. Nick Saban didn't come here to Miami to hope that he wins. He came here expecting to win. And everything he's done, from the hours he puts in to the offseason to the coaching staff he's hired, there's no question that this man had a game plan about what he wanted to do. And you sit down with them, and you know, and the guy's open and honest about what they're doing. And the other side, Jake, who has led this team on 9 fourth-quarter comebacks, not going to be able to do that today. We got the passing game going with Steve Smith, though, today. It's early in this season. That's a hard one. It's going to be a hard one to get on a plane to go back to Charlotte with.
Let's see if Steve Smith has one more big play in him.
No, he won't touch this ball, Ken. This ball should be squibbed right through the middle here. Or pooched.
Short kick, and here's Smith on the toss from Seidman, and he's tackled. No flags. The Dolphins took the early lead. Let's see, there is a late flag. Here's Bill Vinovich.
Offsides. Kicking team, number 21. 5-yard penalty, free kick.
Well, they'll do it again. Flag was thrown late, and the Dolphins will have to kick off one more time.
Well, you know, the Dolphins have a bye next week, and they'll kick it again to go enjoy the free week that they're going to have. Jake is looking at his wrist. What they should have done right there, Kenny, I mean, if you're really honest about it, is just fair catch that ball. You know, no time goes off the clock. You fair catch, you at least get one throw. Now, if I was Nick Saban, I wouldn't pooch the ball. I would squib it, make somebody touch the football. That's when the clock starts, the final minute of a game.
Now, due to the offsides, I think John Fox arguing that they should put the 4 seconds back on the clock.
Yeah, they should, of course. If you're doing it, you got to start from where it was pre-snap, pre-kick, the play before. I was watching Friday practice here in Miami, and I saw 22-year-old kids on the practice squad with their tongues hanging out all day Friday. Zach Thomas said that they run from drill to drill. Sometimes he just runs in place because he knows he's going to have to go someplace and run. So why not just keep it started? Sometimes the message has carried over. Those guys said we needed the discipline, we needed the work. That things had gotten slack in Miami.
And while running in place, Zach also knows he's being watched by one of the 23 coaches.
Can't get away with too much, Kenny. You know, the big thing is that it just, what it does is it verifies everything that Nick has been telling these guys. You know, it validates all the hard work, all the hours they put in when you can win a game like this.
Mare's second kick is taken at the 32. And Smith tackled at the 44. That will do it. So the Miami Dolphins now 2-1 heading into the bye. The Carolina Panthers drop to 1-2. They will host Green Bay next Monday night. So the Dolphins win it by the score of 27-24. We'll return to Miami right after these messages. A victory at home for the Miami Dolphins. Time now for the UPS leaderboard. Jake Delhomme, 285 yards, 3 touchdowns, but a key interception in the closing minutes. Ronnie Brown for the Dolphins, second overall pick, career high 132 yards, including a 58-yard run. And Steve Smith tying a Panther record with his 11 receptions and his 3 touchdown catches. UPS, what can Brown do for you? Miami Dolphins now 2-1 as they head into the bye week. Carolina Panthers dropped to 1-2 after beating the defending Super Bowl champs last week. Another AFC East opponent, and the Panthers fall by 3 following this interception by Lance Schulters. The game-winning field goal from 32 yards out. Olindo Mare wins it for the Dolphins. For Brian Baldinger and Jake Glazer, this is Kenny Albert. Now to the studio.